Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Friday to you all. Tim Donnelly here. Dennis Cox producing the show. This is a Billy Mays kind of day. Remember Billy Mays? Guy with the beard with the OxyClean commercials.
Oh, yeah.
He always had one more thing. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Today is kind of that kind of day. We have college football from yesterday to react to. NC State losing to Georgia Tech. But wait, there's more. We have NFL football from yesterday. Thursday night football that we need to react to. But wait, there's more. We have hockey, Canes from yesterday that we need to react to. But wait, there's more. There's college football, college basketball, NFL football. There's more hockey. There's a little bit of everything coming up this weekend. As always, there's more. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start with NC State last night against Georgia Tech, not winning the football game, not getting bowl eligible, not taking the pressure off of their NC State-UNC rivalry game next week, not being the tougher team on the field. NC State didn't win me over last night. I said yesterday, up front, I'm judging you, NC State, based on how you play in this game tonight. I said, I'm going to ask you a question, and your answer, I'm going to judge you. And the question was, are you willing to fight and scrap and be the most physical, most dominant you possibly can be, the most of everything that we've seen from you this year? Are you willing to do that on a Thursday coming out of a bye against a tough team in Georgia Tech? And the answer was, I actually think split. They didn't win me over, I'll tell you that much. But I do think the players fought to the end. I do think they almost pulled off an impressive fourth quarter comeback. The players fought to the end. Quarterback throws a bunch of interceptions, still fighting, runs for 3 touchdowns. The running game actually opened up a hole late to take the lead late with Hollywood Smothers up the middle. The players, even defensive individual players, I thought, made a fight about it. They weren't afraid to get down and dirty. But in the biggest gut check moments of the game, the coaches came up empty in bringing the fight to Georgia Tech. And it's not just, although it is, but it's not just the final drive that the NC State defense decided to let Georgia Tech march down the field and retake the lead while not being aggressive, right? The defense was the opposite of aggressive, right? The prevent defense, all it does is prevent you from winning the game. Old cliches. First 2 plays of that drive for Georgia Tech, nothing, right? Runs, clock running, don't worry about it. Then there were 6 straight plays that all of them, there's no variety here, all of them were either successful quarterback scrambles or successful checkdowns to the running back. They both take advantage of the same thing, which is everybody too far off, everybody being too conservative, everybody in the second level saying if a receiver goes deep, we're going to be 20 yards deeper than them. And then as everybody turns and runs, the quarterback scrambles and there's nobody there to catch him. Or the running back leaks out on a check down and there's nobody there to catch him. That means you're playing too soft. Bring the fight to them, Tony Gibson, defensive coordinator. Dave Doran was asked after the game how easily Georgia Tech scored on the final drive.
Yeah, I mean, I got the ball to the back, out of the backfield on us. A couple times we were in man coverage and their back made plays. We weren't able to get to the quarterback and get him on the ground, and then he had a big scramble to win it, And we were in 2-man, 4-man rush, and he broke the pocket, and our 2 safeties have to come up and get him down, and we weren't able to do that.
Yeah, it's more. It is that, but it's more simple than that. Played too soft. Didn't bring enough pressure. Didn't make Georgia Tech make difficult plays. Right?
Didn't make a true freshman quarterback uncomfortable.
Or even try to. It's basketball, right? Just because you're not going to block the shot doesn't mean you don't contest. Make them make a tough shot. But also, again, not just that drive. The interception earlier, the one down in C.J. Bailey's interception, down in his own red zone that set up Georgia Tech for the one-play, 3-yard touchdown drive. After The NC State defense just forced a turnover. They got the interception to end a Georgia Tech threat. You give it back to the offense. You get an interception. Here's what you do as an offensive coordinator or as a quarterback even, if you're the veteran with a little bit of say-so. You grab the offensive line by the face mask, and you say, our defense just got their quarterback to throw an interception. I want that quarterback to be sitting on the bench for 2 hours thinking about the mistake he made. I want him to have to sit there and watch us over the next half hour of real time march the ball down the field and score. The only benefit of throwing like a pick six is you get the ball right back, right? You don't have time to stew on the sideline. But the flip side of that is there's nothing worse than throwing an interception or having the ball bounce off your hands or fumbling and then having the other team go on a 16-play, clock running the whole time drive because you're just on the bench with your hands getting sweaty thinking about the mistake. That's what you do in that moment. Instead, what it was a pass, interception. Take the fight to them and force Georgia Tech's offense to stay on the sideline and force the defense to make 5 good plays to stop you, not 1. The drive coming out of half. This one may have frustrated me even more. So they're at half. They're down less than a score, right? Less than a touchdown, I should say. I think they were down 6, which is a touchdown, but less. You know what I mean. You come out, you get the ball. That's awesome. If it's a 1-score game and you get the ball out of half, everybody's optimistic, right? In the locker room, everybody, hey, come out and score. We got the lead. Hey, new game. We played the clock right. We get the ball. The coin toss came our way. We get the ball. Once we score, we're not giving the lead back. They came out and 3 and out. 3 and out of half, which is bad. You know what's way worse and why I'm actually mad about it? It was a 3 and out with 3 completions. You had 3 completed passes, and you punted on 4th and 6. 3 completed passes, you gained 4 yards. Actually, you gained 5 and then lost 1 on a completion, but we're getting nitpicky. Justin Jolie, Noah Rogers, and Dakari Collins all caught a pass, and you gained 4 yards. Those are 3 players that can make plays downfield. If you're going to let those guys get the ball, let's not be cute with the horizontal passes. Noah Rogers, get him downfield. Justin Jolie, get him over the middle. Use his wide catch radius. Dakari Collins is an impressive contested catch guy. You completed all 3 of your passes for 4 yards. Take the fight to them. Let your players make plays. I thought yesterday I was talking to the players when I said I am judging you by the fight that you show. I should have been talking to the coaches, saying, let your kids go fight. Let your kids defend themselves. Your players, I shouldn't call them kids, your young men. Let them go out there when the tough get going and see if they're tough. If you're looking for a silver lining, I mean, I think it's obvious you have your backfield of the future. C.J. Bailey, Hollywood Smothers, if they're around for the next 2 or 3 years, they're really talented individuals. And C.J. Bailey, even though it wasn't his prettiest game, I think mentally these games will really help him in the future. You throw 3 interceptions, you end up with 3 rushing touchdowns and still being physical and still finding a way to give your team the lead near the end. That's kind of what being a quarterback is. And C.J. Bailey, after the game, talked about his teammates still having his back despite the turnovers.
Yeah, like I said, like mistakes go happen, things go happen. You know, that was definitely not planned to have 3 interceptions. Like I never threw 3 interceptions in a game in my life. But, you know, it happens. Like when I have guys around me telling me, let's go, you good, let's keep going. Like things go happen, it's overcome it. We go overcome it. And, you know, it happened, it worked. And, you know, that's why I like listening to my guys, my teammates, because they know what's best and they know what to do in those situations, you know. Like so that's why I'm getting that confidence and staying confident as I go on because those guys helping me out.
Never thrown 3 interceptions in his life. Still, you could argue he didn't throw 3 interceptions because the one on the speed sweep is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I think he threw 2 interceptions and he tapped 1 interception. And he didn't throw it. Chest pass, I guess. But still, if that's your first time with 3 interceptions and that's how you react, that's something good to know about yourself.
His responses were great after every single time he threw a touchdown or threw an interception.
As somebody that has thrown a decent amount of interceptions in his day, you don't know how you're going to react until you do it. It's unlike anything. You feel like you let your team down. It's very unusual, and he reacted pretty well. Hollywood Smothers still at the end, the big run. Like those guys, they have something cooking. You can build around that. If you're looking for a silver lining on, being 5-6 and needing to beat your rival to be bowl eligible after starting the season with astronomical expectations. If you need a silver lining, hey, there's a couple young guys in the backfield.
I mean, 1 foot to the right on that 58-yarder, State wins.
Life's a game of inches.
Yeah.
And those inches are everywhere around you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
We have something to give away, Tim.
Oh, you are right. We have NC State men's basketball tickets.
That's right. NC State men's basketball in action tonight against William & Mary at the Lenovo Center. We have a pair of tickets and a parking pass.
That's the parking pass is underrated, Clutch.
I know. Pair of tickets and a parking pass, folks.
We'll go caller number 9 with
Caller number 9.
919-860-5326. If you want some college basketball in your life tonight, NC State, William & Mary, and a parking pass. Pair of tickets and a parking pass goes to caller number 9 at 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. NC State wasn't the only team that lost last night. The Canes did as well. Is there anything we can learn from it? I'll tell you next.
Move your sports day forward.
Come on, Coach. I know it's tough. Just squeezed out that. Yeah, he's doing it for us. He is the giant, non-disposable straw that is stirring the drink, because you do not want Marty Natchez melting down like a cardboard straw in a milkshake.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
The Black Friday sales event is happening right now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington, and the savings are huge. Get $13,000 off any new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn, or take advantage of 0% for 72 months on a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4XE, Chrysler Pacifica 4XE, Dodge Hornet RT, or a 2024 Jeep Wrangler 4XE. Awesome choices and savings, so get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. This Christmas, give a gift that stands the test of time. At Fox & Bailey, we offer an exquisite collection of the finest timepieces and distinct gifts, perfect for that special someone on your list. Whether it's a sleek and modern design or a timeless classic, our expert team will help you find the perfect watch to fit any style. Because at Fox & Bailey, we know a watch is more than just a gift. It's a lasting memory. We proudly carry some of the world's most distinguished watch brands, including Omega, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Tissot, Nomos, Hamilton, and Norqain. Not to mention that we have the largest collection of certified pre-owned and vintage Rolex watches in North Carolina. Make this holiday unforgettable with a watch or a unique gift from Fox & Bailey, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location in Raleigh.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Creighton Blackwell here from Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. We are here at Broughton High School, and we're here to celebrate the next Scholar Athlete, Rachel Lambert.
Rachel is a hard worker, and she's dedicated. She is a big impact in my life, both on and off the mat.
She's a super selfless person and a great all-around athlete because she pushes herself every day to be the best, and she's always trying each practice to improve.
Rachel is the quintessential scholar athlete. She's so passionate about her academics, and she's also just as passionate about her athletics.
Winning this award means a lot to me. I'm really excited to be able to represent both my team and Broughton and recognize all of my teammates' hard work.
Your coaches talk about how you're a leader both on and off the mat, and you still make time to excel in school. How do you balance this life with school and sports?
My parents, my coach, and my teammates are always supporting me and pushing me to be the best I can be in both school and in cheer.
You're very involved in serving your community, like your mission trips and things like that. What impact does this kind of work have in other aspects of your life?
I've learned many valuable life lessons from my work in the community that I'm able to apply to cheer, school, and hopefully I'll be able to apply it in the future as well.
Congratulations, Rachel.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Cotter able to get it in. Step across, Hollow waits, and Martin squared up to the shooter and makes the save.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes lost to the Devils last night. Tomorrow they will be taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's the way the regular season works in the NHL. Not a lot of time to lick your wounds. I still think the Canes need to get more comfortable in big games.
How so?
It's I almost think we should start treating them like last year again. Because last year, one of the things that was kind of a theme of the season for me watching the Canes was not much you can prove to me in the regular season. Right? We've seen especially the group last year, like almost fully intact, be very, very good in the regular season and then not quite get over the hump in the postseason. So one of the themes for me was like the regular season might as well be the preseason, and the postseason might as well be the season, because that's where you can start proving things to me. Now, this year, the team was different, shook some things up, new players, so it didn't start that way. But they've quickly shown that they're good enough to be one of the best teams in the regular season. They've quickly shown that with how successful they've been. They've been dominant in the Eastern Conference up to last night. They've been dominant in the Metropolitan up until last night. So losing that game last night, I believe, means nothing for the regular season. The Canes, ready for this? The Canes, with losing that game, fell from the top of the Metropolitan, first place, all the way down to tied for the top spot in the Metropolitan with 3 less games played than the Devils, who they are tied with.
Games in hand, baby. Let's go.
So it is.
Games in hand.
It's that game last night means nothing to like where they're going to be, expected to land at the end of the regular season. Would you rather win? Yes, but it's 1 of 82. It means very little. However, it still leaves that tiny, eensy-weensy, very faint in the distance thought in the back of my mind about the Canes' ability to step up when the stakes feel higher. Right? The same thing, if you, and maybe it's just pure luck, maybe it's just pure timing, but if you take the best month stretch of any of the last 6 years in the regular season for the Canes and plop that stretch in the postseason, probably have a cup by now. But it's just never worked out that in the biggest games, they had their best stretch. Now, yesterday, Dennis, we decided that Devils game was an 8 out of 10 on the big game scale. Right? It was a division game against a contender. It had a little bit of extra sauce because of the former Canes that are on the Devils, who, by the way, had good days.
2 of them scored.
Nason had multiple points. Dougie Hamilton scored, and Pesci was Pesci, so he was doing his thing on the defensive end. So it had a little bit extra sauce, had a little extra big game feel, and that's the game that the Canes showed up a little not as well as they have in other contests. It means nothing for the regular season. I'm not even fully in on it, meaning for the postseason, but for a team that the one thing that is a little bit of like, yeah, but they haven't done blah, blah, blah. The blah, blah, blah is show up bigger when the stakes are bigger. So when we have an 8 out of 10 game and they don't show all the way up, rough. Rough. Little things start, that faint voice in the corner, that drip from the faucet in the other room that you think you hear, but you're not sure. Like other things start now talking like that. Aho had a pointless night last night, meaning no assists, no goals. A player having a single pointless night, not a big deal at all. Not a big deal at all. However, that little faint nagging thought in the back of my mind is like, yeah, but you need your stars to show up in big games. Yeah, I know. So it's something to monitor. It's something we're going to monitor. When games feel bigger, do they increase their play or does it feel decreased? When games feel bigger, right? When it is a rivalry game, when it is the Panthers, when it is the Rangers, when it is a nationally televised, like when it is something, does it go bigger? Do they go bigger or does it go smaller? Would they go smaller? Now, Canes at Blue Jackets tomorrow. Guess what? I feel bad for the Blue Jackets. The Canes have played some of their best hockey immediately after losing games this year, and they haven't had a ton of opportunities because they've been playing well. But I have them right here. They lost at St. Louis in a stinker early on. Next game, they beat the Stanley Cup champion betting favorites, Edmonton, in overtime. They lost at Colorado, had the real stinker of a period. Next game, absolutely dominated Vegas 5-2 in one of their best games of the year. Lost in Utah at a weird game. Next game posted a shutout against Ottawa and beat their next three opponents combined 12-2. After they lose a game, they I don't know if it's appropriate anger. I don't know if they just lock in or it's just the odds, right? If you're a really good team, you're not going to play 2 bad games in a row. But they lost to the Devils on the road in a big game. Tomorrow they play against Columbus on the road. And yowzers. I feel bad for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Kind of similar to like Panther fans were probably rooting for the Chiefs to beat Buffalo last week. Just going, oh, don't upset them. Don't upset them.
Don't let them reset themselves.
The Blue Jackets were really hoping that the Canes were able to pull out the win against New Jersey. So they'd roll up there into Columbus, tail end of a road trip, not all refocused and jacked up. Instead, you're going to get a team that has high expectations and didn't live up to those high expectations as recently as last night. I talked about the little voice in the back of my head talking about the Canes. I'm sure the Canes have a little voice in the back of their head as well. It's probably in the form of Rod Brindamore, and it's probably telling them that game against the Devils at that time, not good enough. Let's go to Rod Brindamore, summing up the loss to the Devils. This is what it sounded like.
We weren't very good. We were good to start the game, and then thought that the penalties, it's always that seems to rear its head there. You're going to give up the momentum flipped on that, and then 5-on-3, you're giving a goal away. You almost get it kind of killed, but you can't give a team like that, that kind of life. And then we hung around. That's basically all we did tonight. And then we got back in the game, and then we kind of have a gaff, the game-winning goal behind the net. You're not going to win when you do that kind of stuff. So it's tough. Move on.
It is tough. It is tough. It's hockey.
It really was just a couple small gasps, but give New Jersey credit. They took advantage and scored.
Should I do my Al Pacino impression again?
No.
Life's a game of inches. No.
Yeah.
It's inches. It is but when good teams play good teams, it comes down to a couple plays.
Yeah.
I always get very frustrated when people say that, when it's like, it happens more in football because plays are so isolated. Like hockey, it's just continuous. But I hate when people are like, you take away that third down in the second quarter and the interception in the fourth, it's a completely different game. Well, yeah, if you take away the worst plays for the team that lost, they might win. Unfortunately, that's not the way life works. You don't get mulligans. You can't throw an interception and then go, I'm going to use my mulligan. We're just going to run that play back. So, yeah, the Canes were 4 breaks away from that game ending differently. But if you redo the Canes' 4 worst plays, you have to redo you got to be fair. You got to redo the Devils' 4 worst plays, and then you're right back where it started. It's a game they lost. In the scheme of things, are we going to look back at the end of the year and go, the game that really decided everything was that November 21st game against the Devils in the middle of a road trip? No, we're not. But there might be something there that, as we track, becomes one of the storylines that they have to overcome. And Columbus Sorry. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Panthers' first touchdown scorer is coming up next, so you can call in on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We'll take 3 callers predicting who will score the first touchdown for the Panthers against the Chiefs and in what quarter they will score it. And if any of those 3 callers get it right, we got a sweet little prize pack for them. So if you want to win the prize, if you want to win the glory, the bragging rights that come with saying, I know football, watch this. Go ahead and call in right now, 919-860-5326. First touchdown score coming up next.
Keep pounding. Panther Talk. Panthers Playbook. The PawPrint. Follow your Carolina Panthers all season with us.
Officially a 36-yarder. Jansen snap. Hackers hold. Pinero's kick. It is up. And Eddie wins it for the Panthers in OT.
Your home for complete Carolina Panthers coverage. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander with 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. Every Friday night, FanDuel is giving all customers a bigger payout on select NBA first bets. First bets let you get in on the action from the opening tip. You can bet on things like who will score the first basket, which team will be the first to 15 points, and so much more. And best of all, you don't have to wait the whole game to see if you won. Just look for Friday First in the FanDuel app and find those profit boosts right at the top of your screen. Head on over to FanDuel.com/Paul. FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul, and claim your Friday First profit boost. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Max wager amount applies. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play a little first touchdown score predictions. Leading into every Panthers game this season, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. We have asked for callers, 3 of them to be official contestants, to predict who will score the first touchdown for the Panthers and in what quarter. I'm going to try to do this the whole time without messing up quarter and period because we do first goal scorer as well. You pick the first touchdown scorer and what quarter it will be scored in. And if you get it right and you're one of these 3 contestants, you get a prize pack supplied by us. So we'll go to Gus and Carrie. Gus and Carrie, you were up first. Who scores the first touchdown and in what quarter?
Mr. Chuba Hubbard in the second.
Oh, in the second. Why waiting till the second? You don't think they're going to get it done on the opening drive? They can't catch the Chiefs slipping?
Yeah, I think Andy Reid's going to buckle down on the run.
All right, so
make adjustments.
All right, a nice logical answer. Chuba Hubbard in the second goes to Gus and Carrie. So that one's now taken. However, Chuba in a different quarter or a different player in the second quarter, also still very up in the air. Brian in Durham is up next. Brian, who scores the first touchdown and in what quarter?
Panthers on a 2-game win streak, and we've got our most experienced wide receiver back, Thielen, in the first.
So you don't think they're easing him in at all? You think it's right out the jump, touchdown in the first quarter?
I think he's ready to go. I think he's hyped, and I think it's on the opening drive. We win the coin toss. We get first and goal, probably miss Chuba on the first, second and goal to Thielen.
I love it, Brian. Appreciate it. Stay on the line. Yep. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you. Although I would probably not advise winning the coin toss and asking for the ball in this one. But if you lose the coin toss and they give it to you to start, then, yeah, go score. Leo in Chapel Hill, you are the final official contestant for first touchdown score predictions. Who scores the first touchdown and in what quarter is it scored?
I got Hubbard in the first. Chiefs are going to take us lightly, and we're on a 2-game win streak.
All right. So Chuba in the first, Chuba in the second, and Thielen in the first are the answers. Appreciate it, Leo. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you. The veterans getting a little love there. The veterans getting a little love. And the reason why I point that out is because I want the young person takeover. So if you're out there picking Chuba, if you're out there picking Thielen, that means that in the red zone, I'm not going to be too upset about Chuba because, Jonathan Brooks, we don't know exactly how healthy he is. But I would love to get an opportunity if he is 100% to see what kind of a goal line back he might be or to see what kind of goal line receiver he might be. And then if Thielen's getting first quarter touchdowns, it'll feel good. It will be a joy, but I'll also be going, so that's how quickly you forget that Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette were the ones, pulling the wagon during your 2-game win streak. Adam Thielen shows up and you forget about these guys that were growing and learning and getting better every week. If there's a red zone target, I want it to go to Xavier Legette. He's been good down there. Matter of fact, my first touchdown score prediction is Xavier Legette, but not on the red zone. Deep ball.
Okay.
I think it's a deep ball. I think it's in the first quarter. Why not try? What do you have to lose? Try to put the Chiefs on their heels, huh? Not the first play. Don't get too cute. Probably not the first drive. But if you have a second and short, second and medium, like a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5 on the second drive of the game, for your offense, I like play action Chuba deep ball to Xavier Legette. I like play action, maybe a rollout, set your feet, let it fly, and let Xavier Legette use all of that raw athleticism we heard about before the draft to go track it down. That's what I'm looking for. First touchdown, Xavier Legette, second drive of the game on a deep ball in the first quarter. That's my prediction. Dennis, who do you got?
Because I would just love to see this. Logically, this probably won't happen, but give me Jonathan Brooks busting a 40-yarder in the first quarter. Because why not? Because I would love to see it happen.
How we're going to talk obviously about that game a lot, but how would you use Jonathan Brooks? Like, what is the ideal role for that guy, knowing that he is coming off of an injury and hasn't played in the NFL yet?
I mean, Miles Sanders isn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just basically giving his snaps to him.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to work it in. Miles Sanders was probably playing, if you're getting 60 offensive snaps, was probably playing 12 to 15.
If he's truly good, like if it's not, hey, we want to play and then still see how he feels, I think you give him like the entire third series and then decide from there.
Yeah.
You give it to Chuba first, Chuba in the second, assuming they're not both 3 and outs. Then you go to Jonathan Brooks and you go, all right, you're the one for this series. And see how it goes, right? If you're tired, you get your rest or whatever. But I do kind of want to see what he could be in that role before you just resign him to like third down back pass catcher. Like I want to see what he could be in that side of things. That's the first touchdown score. So we have Chuba in the first, Chuba in the second. Leo has Chuba in the first. Gus has Chuba in the second. Brian Thielen in the first. Dennis is on Jonathan Brooks in the first. And I am in Leggett on the first. If I'm being honest, we're probably a little optimistic. That Chiefs defense is pretty good. Let's jump into the thesis statement. The thesis statement for today is Duke football can achieve greatness this season. Now let me go ahead and defend that. Duke football is chasing greatness. There's levels to it. Small scale greatness. It's not outlandish when you really put your thinking cap on and start, looking at it one by one. It's not outlandish that Duke wins 10 games this year. They're 7-3 right now. They've won the games they should win against teams that are below them in the ACC standings. They've lost the games that they quote-unquote should lose that are above them in the ACC standings. They have 2 teams below them in the ACC standings remaining on their schedule. Virginia Tech this weekend. Virginia Tech is favored, but not unbeatable by any stretch. Like I said, they've been beat a decent amount this year. Wake Forest in the last week, not a juggernaut by any stretch. If Duke wins both of those, bowl game win, always a possibility, right? We don't know who they're playing. We don't know where they're playing. We don't know how many opt-outs they have. We don't know how many opt-outs their opponent has. But it's always a possibility there. So you have Virginia Tech, Wake Forest bowl game. If you win those 3, it's a 10-win season. 10 wins isn't a national championship, so it's small-scale greatness. It's not even a conference championship. But it is something that should be celebrated and acknowledged, and something that we need to convince ourselves is important. I went and did some history homework, right? This thesis statement, playing on the college metaphor here. I took college football in the triangle history 207. And I went online and looked at it, and Duke has only won 10 or more games one time in its history. Over 100 years of Duke football, they've won 10 or more games once. NC State, another team in the triangle, over 100 years of program history. They've won 10 or more games one time in their history. Once. UNC has done it 8 times in their over a century, but only one time since 2000. Like they had some in the 19 teens over a century ago that were 10 wins. So I don't know, 8, but let's count it as 6 or something like that. No, we'll count it as 8.
No, count it as 8.
So in total, in 343 combined seasons of Duke, UNC, and NC State football, they have won 10 or more games. All 3 of them combined in almost 3.5 centuries worth of football, they have won 10 or more games 10 times. 10 times. In 75 combined seasons for those 3 schools, since 2000, they've won 10 or more games 3 times, once each, since 2000. Duke has the possibility, they have the opportunity to do it this year. You may say their schedule stinks. Fine. You're telling me nobody in the 100-plus year history of each of these teams has had bad schedules? They have, and they haven't done it for the overwhelming majority. They have an opportunity to chase greatness. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I would not be putting in the ear of the team. They got to go 1-0 today. They got to win this week. They're only worried about one opponent. But big picture stuff, there's some goals here that can be accomplished. And then add in the Mike Elko element. Mike Elko showed up at Duke, got everybody all riled up. Look at the success he's having. Look at how he's turning the program around. Game day, show on up, night games. How awesome is this? Let's storm the field. Never won 10 games. Topped out at 9. You can look at all that, right? Remember how big a deal it was when Mike Elko left and say, yeah, you left and we got better, my guy. You left and we got more successful. Couldn't afford Riley Leonard, right? Notre Dame had all the NIL money. Glad you cashed in. As soon as you walked out this building, we became a 10-win team. That matters. Not to mention, it would be, if you're a Duke fan, just icing on the cake, cherry on top of the sundae, or with Thanksgiving coming up, gravy on top of your meal. To do that, to put up 10 wins in a season when UNC and NC State didn't live up to expectations. NC State's going to have to win to not have 5 wins, or they're going to have to win to be above 5 wins and be bowl eligible next week. They're going to beat UNC. If they don't do that, Duke could double them up. Duke can chase greatness and not on the basketball court for once. Manny Diaz building something. 10 wins. It also probably shows us that we talk about 10-win seasons too willy-nilly. Oh, this team should win, 9, 10 games? And 343 chances, Triangle teams have won 10 games 10 times.
Like, well, actually, when you think about it, not happening too often.
Let me do some quick
Maybe
math.
that's us. Maybe we should tame our expectations a little bit.
I think that might be it. What is that, like 3%? 2%? Something? Am I messing that up?
3 out of 75?
10 out of 343.
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
it's like 2.9.
Okay. No on-air math, but you know.
I can't help it. I'm gonna do on-air math, and I'm probably gonna do it poorly no matter what. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's the thesis statement. Duke has Virginia Tech tomorrow. Elsewhere, as we keep this train rolling a little bit here.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed. I don't want to be a teacher, but I would like to be able to dismiss people. That just sounds kind of fun. All right, go live your life.
You should do at the end of the show. All right.
You're dismissed.
Show dismissed.
Go live your life. Chase dreams. I'd be like a knockoff version of Robin Williams in like Dead Poet Society. I'd have such metaphors and speeches, and kids would look at me like, I just want to go to lunch. I'd be sitting there like, spread your wings. Challenge yourself. Carpe diem. They're like, is it gym class? Yes, go. UNC at Boston College football tomorrow. Told you there's a lot to get to today, but wait, there's more. Talk about this college football game, but wait, there's more. Talk about that one, UNC at BC. You know what UNC finally is again? They're the hunted. They are the team that would be the pelt on the wall of their opponent rather than reverse. The last time UNC entered a game as the simple and plain, like you're looking at it, that's the better team in the matchup, was JMU in week 3. And they lost that game 70-50. Every game from that point forward has been a game where it's like, well, they're similar, or the flip side. Hey, UNC is going to have to pull off an upset here. Now, credit to them, and I've given credit to Mac Brown for keeping the team together through some tough times. Credit to them. They battled back. They've built their reputation back. They've built some expectations back. They're bowl eligible. They're going into this week against Boston College, and if you looked at the two teams, you would go, UNC's the better team. BC has had their problems, right? Benched a quarterback. That quarterback left the program. Bill O'Brien's up there trying to establish something, and it's been 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. It hasn't been linear. They have their problems. UNC walks in as the hunted rather than the hunter. They're not trying to slay a dragon. They are the dragon. And while the mindset changes, right? It's no longer nobody believes in us, nobody picked us, right? You hear a lot of college teams. Actually, it's a college social media team, like their marketing department. Gosh, if College Game Day picks the game that you're playing in and everyone on the panel, everyone at the desk picks the other team, then you win the game. I mean, it's right out of playbook. Like, the first play you do is take that screenshot where they all pick the other team. You put it out there immediately after the game and say, like, thanks for the support. It happens 100% of the time. You show that bulletin board material. Well, hey, Vegas has us as a 10-point underdog. This analyst said we can't win this game. That analyst said this quarterback's going to pick us apart. It happens every single week somewhere around college football. UNC doesn't have that now. They're not going to be able to play in the team meeting on Friday the clip of somebody on ACC Network going, I expect Boston College to win this one going away. Like, they don't have that external motivation. You have to find it within yourself. So your mindset changes. The game plan, best not change. The game plan stays the same. And guess what that game plan is? Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton. Boston College is middle of the pack in the ACC at stopping the run. And good, but not great. Donovan Ezaraku, who we've talked to at ACC Kickoff, is a beast out there at rushing the passer, but their run defense doesn't have that same kind of elite stud that's going to be in the NFL someday. So if you're anything less than elite at stopping the run, Omarion Hampton is licking his chops. That offensive line is frothing at the mouth. If you're anything less than one of the best teams in the country at stopping the run, UNC should walk into that game like Apollo Creed. Just all confidence and bravado. You should walk into that game not hoping but expecting to be the dominant unit on the field. Omarion Hampton had 40 touches last week. 4D. 4-0. I'm not saying 14. I'm not saying 40 over 4 weeks. I'm saying he had 40 touches, 35 carries, 5 catches, 250 some odd or 60 some odd yards, 260 total yards.
Yeah, I can't count that high.
That is dominant at volume. There are actually, we'll talk about your Steelers. I was talking yesterday about Jaylen Warren, the backup running back for the Steelers, who scored last night, had a good game in the snow. It was a whole Thursday Night Football thing.
It's beautiful.
And somebody was asking, like, oh, can you imagine what Jaylen Warren would do if Najee Harris left the team this year because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option in the offseason? And I literally wrote this back to them in text. I said the only question is if Jaylen Warren can keep his efficiency with more volume, right? Because if you average 6 yards a carry on 10 carries a game, that's great. That's the 60 yards. That's unbelievable. But it's much more difficult to average 6 yards a carry on 24 carries a game. And oftentimes, with greater volume comes less efficiency. Omarion Hampton had 40 touches and averaged 7 yards per – he had 35 carries and averaged 7 yards a carry. There's no reason not to give him the ball a bunch. He is a true old school, should have been playing football in like 2003 workhorse. Right? He's not Jahmyr Gibbs out there. He's not like, yeah, give me half the carries, I'll give you twice the explosion. He's like, I'm Sean Alexander. Give me the ball 40 times, and I'm going to punch him in the face enough that they fall over.
Do you worry about him wearing down?
I don't.
No?
First of all, he's still young.
He is, but still, man, it's a lot of. There's been a lot of work for him the last few weeks.
I agree. I'm not saying it's not a lot. I'm saying I haven't seen him slow down at any point in time.
It's fair.
And he is young, and he doesn't have like this year and last year he has a ton of carries. His freshman year, I think he had like 50 carries.
Yeah, because there's a couple guys already ahead of him.
Exactly. It's actually a beautiful thing in UNC's history. Since Mac Brown has taken over, they really haven't had this kind of season where they're just like, we're just going to give it to Omarion Hampton a ton. There was like, even when they had Javonte Williams, they also had Michael Carter, and They could do the back and forth thing. I haven't seen Omarion Hampton slow down. So I'm not going to anticipate it. It's kind of the Secretariat thing. It's I know, and by the way, I'm not saying an actual Secretariat thing. I'm saying the Secretariat movie starring Diane Lane, that thing. No, sorry, not Secretariat, Seabiscuit, starring Tobey Maguire. There's this movie magic moment where the jockey who had been riding Seabiscuit thinks he has a secret, so he tells the jockey gets hurt, can't ride him. So the next jockey calls him in and says hey, run him hard. Don't slow him down. Don't pace yourself. This horse, if he runs fast once, he's going to run faster the next time. Every other horse needs to be managed. This one can just go. And it's all right, cool. And then the new jockey walks in the other room, and the trainer comes out. Trainer's like, hey, don't tell anyone. Don't slow him down. Don't pace him. Nobody else knows this. Just run. Just go. Couple minutes later, the owner comes down, hey, don't tell the trainer I told you this. He's never going to believe it. Don't slow him down. Don't pace him. Just run. I'm kind of looking at Omarion Hampton I get you running backs need to be paced. And what was it? In game number 10, they gave him 40 touches, and it was the best he'd been. Maybe not the best he'd been, but one of the 2 or 3 games that the best he's been. There wasn't any sign of slowing down.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome.
He did have a 5-touchdown game earlier, so different, right? Yards, touchdowns. Yeah. What are you looking for? What's your soup du jour? My point is, this team is now being hunted by Boston College, right? They are the team that's already bowl eligible. They are the team that has been playing better. They're on a 3-game win streak. Don't change it up. Don't think, we use Omarion Hampton when we're trying. He's our slingshot when we're David. You know what? Give the slingshot to Goliath. See what happens. You can use the same strategy to try to come back from something else, or try to keep somebody else from coming back. It's a confusing way to say that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please, we got a few things that we need to remind you of. First of all, tomorrow there will be Canes here on 99.9 The Fan. There's so much play-by-play going on, I don't even know it all. So just keep it tuned to 99.9 The Fan all weekend. Dennis, you look like you have a better idea than I do.
We actually are going to have tomorrow here on The Fan, starting at noon, we're going to have Ole Miss, Florida, college football. On Buzz Sports Radio, we're going to have Indiana, Ohio State. So we get both stations are going to have action for you. Columbus hosting the Carolina Hurricanes Storm Watch with me. I'm sitting in for Adam. Starts at 6:30. Puck drops at 7 o'clock. And then Duke football is an 8 o'clock game. And pregame coverage starts at 6:30 over on Buzz Sports Radio for Duke football at Virginia Tech. I'm sorry, at home versus Virginia Tech. My apologies. That's just tomorrow. Not even getting into Dallas at Washington on Sunday. Here on The Fan.
And speaking of Sunday, I will be at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House for the start of the Panther game against the Chiefs, where I will be giving away free appetizers to people that look like they're having a good time.
There you go.
If you're out there cheering on the Panthers or whoever your favorite team is, Panthers might get a little bit, better chance of winning an appetizer, getting a free appetizer. But I have some things to give away. I'll be interacting. It's at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House for the Sunday 1 o'clock kind of start when all the games are going on. Sign up for the Carolina Ale House email list for the chance to win a big green egg and solo stove, grill and solo stove. The contest runs all season long, and the winner will be chosen on Super Bowl Sunday. Just scan the QR code on your table tent or visit their website to enter. Again, I will be at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House this Sunday. Speaking of the Panthers, they're playing the Chiefs on Sunday. The Panthers have a gift this weekend. They have a gift. We'll unwrap the gift, tell you what it is, coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The LA Chargers have a great head coach in Jim Harbaugh.
Sure do.
They've got a really good quarterback in Justin Herbert. They've got a good run game. They've got a great pass rush, and they've got a good kicker. Those are the things that you need to win a championship in this league. They got all the elements. There is a level of subjectivity that we have to view it through in order to project what they're going to be.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find Pinot Noirs and Cabernets that you adore. Our helpful guides are so friendly and nice. So many bottles to try at the lowest price. So gather with friends as you sit down to eat. Grateful for all who made Thanksgiving complete.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas. But sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Crabtree Valley Mall, and Cary's Fenton. Also in Rocky Mount and Greenville. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's cool and breezy out there this afternoon. Pretty sunshine, but our high temperature only in the low 50s, feeling more like upper 40s with the wind chill. It won't be quite as cold tonight. Overnight low in the low 40s, and a nice afternoon. We'll see sunny skies with a high near 60.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock, checking for money. Dow Jones up 450 points today to 44,320. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Panthers have a gift this weekend. A gift. You may say, like, how in the world is playing the Kansas City Chiefs considered a gift? Fair question. Fair question, you anonymous question asker, you.
It's like an early Christmas gift.
It is. It is. Early holiday. Here's the gift. No one expects anything from you this weekend. If the Panthers, who, just to, give you their log line, if the Panthers, who were the worst team in the league last season and are playing a quarterback that has already been benched once this season and were sellers at the deadline, including 2 of their season opening starting wide receivers, if those Panthers get smoked by the Chiefs, it's not news. It's not. It gets brushed over quickly. People, check the app and go, oh, look at that. Chiefs won, and they move the heck on. But if the Panthers win or keep it close, it is news. It is. If the Panthers are in it in the fourth quarter, everyone will be paying attention. There's only one way the Panthers make news this weekend. Playing really, really well. Because them playing significantly worse than the Chiefs, that's nothing special. That's, 3 feet deep water at the beach. Yeah, all right. When you talk about when you walk into the ocean, you're 3 feet deep in water. That's not news. 3 feet deep water in Iowa. All right, we got something we need to pay attention to. That's what we're looking at here. Dave Canales, the coach, spoke to the media today, and he asked if he sees a difference in vibe in his team coming off of a few wins.
That helped for sure. Winning 2 games, in a row really has helped. But I would say that what I saw was a group that was growing more confident in the things that we're asking them to do heading into those games. I could feel it in practice. And even a couple of games before that, I could start to feel the level of comfort, the speed of play, the communication, all those things. Watching those things come alive over the last month, really, and then leading to success is where it really helps to kind of cement it. It's like, guys, the process that you're on, the growth that we're taking in all phases is really critical to get that confidence. And then the wins, it does help, to really just pile on top of that. So see, guys, when we do things together and we play and we finish games well, this is what can happen.
That's what can happen. You know what he's getting? You know what Dave Canales is getting? He's getting a little bit of reinforcement. A little bit of what every coach wants, which is credibility. I don't agree with a ton of things that Dave Canales has decided to do. I don't love the way he handles the quarterback position. I don't love some of the play calls. I don't love a lot, but there's not a coach that I agree or disagree with that doesn't benefit from a winning streak. And what I mean by that is, see, guys, if you do what I ask, it works. Results. Every time we do a read here on this show for a business, what are we trying to do? We're trying to show that they have a track record of success. We talk about Google 5-star reviews. We talk about customer satisfaction rating. We talk about how many people have been helped by these companies because we want you to understand they have credibility. Well, consider a 2-game winning streak like 20,000 Google 5-star reviews. So now, when Dave Canales asks his team, hey, I need you to trust me on this unusual play call, they're more likely to do so because the unusual play call last time worked. Or at least it didn't hurt him bad enough to not win the game. So I ask you this, Panthers. I ask you this, Dave Canales. Ask you this, Evero, the defensive coordinator. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? This is like a motivational speech tactic thing, right? What job would you choose if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do? What plays would you call if you knew you couldn't fail? Or, more importantly, if you did fail, no one would hold it against you. I look at it like this. I was trying to think of the perfect analogy here. This is the best I could come up with. I played high school basketball. Decent high school basketball player, nothing to write home about. If I played one-on-one basketball against an NBA player, I would not try to beat him to the bucket and get like my little tap backboard layup off. You know what I mean? They're gonna catch that off the backboard and make me look real foolish. So guess what I get to do? Actually, you know what, Dennis? Pick a random NBA player. I just want a name on it. Literally, not like LeBron, not somebody really good, like a regular NBA player.
Shareef Abdul-Rahim.
Perfect. I'm playing Shareef Abdul-Rahim, and by the way, put him like maybe not the peak of his powers, but like 2 years after his peak. I'm playing him one-on-one. I'm not just going to try to beat him off the dribble. I'm not that good. I'm not going to try to cross him up. I don't have that skill. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try a fadeaway 3 because I'm confident he won't block a ridiculous fadeaway 3 from 2 feet beyond the arc. And if I get lucky and catch a hot streak and bank in a couple fadeaway 3s, then I get an awesome story to tell that I beat or that I almost beat an NBA player. So what is the Panthers' equivalent of that? Because let's call the Chiefs an NBA player in this scenario, right? They're a two-time defending Super Bowl champion. What's the Panthers' equivalent of trying to knock down some fadeaway threes? Well, okay, let's think about it from my perspective. I'm not a proven great fadeaway three-point shooter, but I'm trying because that's a way that I can make the game even. Xavier Legette isn't a proven downfield threat, at least not yet. He's been good on some intermediate stuff. He's been good in the red zone. Hasn't really caught the over-the-top ball yet. Sounds like a good game to try. Chuba Hubbard isn't a proven route runner while lining up out wide, like it's talking about number one, the furthest outside wide receiver. Hasn't been given the opportunity much. Hasn't been proven. Well, guess what I'm doing? Unscouted looks, baby. I'm putting Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard in the huddle, and when they break the huddle, Jonathan Brooks is going to be in the slot. Chuba Hubbard's going to be on the other side running wide receiver routes. Trevin Wallace on defense. He's not a proven blitzer off the edge. No sacks yet in his career, but we know he's fast. So why not give him a chance? You have to try. It gives you the freedom to try things when no one is expecting anything from you. It gives you the freedom to try things. Because guess what? If I were playing someone my own level, like another former high school basketball player 15 years after high school, we were a similar level, I'm not shooting fadeaway threes because I don't have to. Right? Then I'm going to try to beat you with a more natural plan. That's the Panthers next week against Tampa. That's where you can say, you know what, I think we can bully him a little bit, or I think if we're a little bit more conservative, we can take this opportunity. Against the Chiefs, like imagine me against Lamar Odom or something in his prime, and I'm like, give me the ball in the post. He's 6'10" and way more athletic than me. That's kind of foolish. I'm not going to try to be a better winner than the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not saying like, hey, let's just keep it close, and then if we give the ball to Bryce Young and Patrick Mahomes at the end, I expect Bryce Young to come out on the winning side of that. That's not smart thinking. Now, if you want to say like, hey, we can put the ball in Bryce's hands in a close game against Baker Mayfield, even though he's playing really well this year, it's still Baker Mayfield, you might have a fighting chance. The gift this weekend for the Panthers is the Chiefs have everything to lose. Everything to lose. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if the Panthers beat the Chiefs this weekend? That would put the Chiefs on a 2-game losing streak. The sky would be falling. Kansas City would be metaphorically rioting in the streets. Can you imagine Stephen A. Smith talking about how Patrick Mahomes has lost it completely and now they're not sure if he's ever going to be an elite quarterback again? The hot takes would be in infernos. That's what the Chiefs are playing for. What happens if the Panthers lose? Nothing. Quiet. Stephen A. Smith might not even know who the best player on the Panthers is. There was one time a couple years ago, maybe a handful of years ago now, where I wish I remembered the players. Stephen A. was talking about a game, and he brought up a key matchup as a linebacker guarding a tight end. The tight end was hurt, and the linebacker was traded the year before. That neither of them were active like any time recently. And he was like, the key matchup. It's like it's
like Hunter Henry, a tight end, I think,
and he was hurt. That's exactly what it was. And it was some linebacker that was playing for a different team, not on the defense, against Hunter Henry. And that's how it would be if the Panthers lose. Right, but I'm pretty sure Travis Kelce had a good day. Travis Kelce might not have played, but everyone would just kind of breeze over it and move on. It's the gift for the Panthers this week. It's the gift. And Dave Canales. Go crazy. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I talked about the reads we do where we try to show the credibility of the company to you. Well, I have a company here that the credibility is oozing from its pores. Luckily, Nothing oozes or seeps through their product. Tim Donnelly here for Window Nation, where their sealant is top-notch, their materials are top-notch, the installation is top-notch, and yes, they have the credibility to back it up. 30,000 five-star Google reviews. They have a 96% customer satisfaction rating. 96% of their products don't need any follow-up maintenance, although they all come with a lifetime warranty to give you peace of mind. There is an insane amount of success in how they install Windows and how they develop Windows that will pass along to you. And, oh, by the way, they also have a sweet Black Friday deal going on right now. Get 50% off all Windows styles. This includes bays, bows, double hung, sliders, single hung, picture windows, and any other type of windows you can imagine. Plus, pay no interest for 5 full years. And through the end of the month, they're getting that Black Friday deal I was talking about. Receive an additional 10% discount. So the 50% off, an additional 10% off. Heating costs are going up again this winter. If you don't have Window Nation windows, a lot of your money is literally going out the window. Get top-tier windows from Window Nation at a fraction of the cost of other big names. Hurry, sale ends December 1st, so act now. Before this offer ends, visit windownation.com to get 50% off all window styles plus 0% interest for 5 full years and take an additional 10% off as part of that Black Friday special. Schedule your fast in-home estimate right now, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com. Once again, that is windownation.com. We still have the PawPrints to get to, Panthers PawPrints, presented by your Carolina Ford dealers. 2 players to watch from Dennis and from for the Panther game. But wait, there's more. A boatload of big-time college basketball this weekend. It's all coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
We're kicking it this fall with college football. Join 99.9 The Fan all season long and catch your favorite teams in action. The ACC, the SEC, and every conference that matters. You'll find the best matchups here.
Jordan Moore delivers, and the Blue Devils have the lead.
College football on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford and by Amedios.
It's truck season at John Heister Chevrolet, and boy, do we have the sweetest Silverado deal for you. Right now, you can get that 24 Silverado 1500 you've had your eye on for up to $15,000 off with GM trade-in allowance and Costco private offer. Yes, up to $15,000 off a brand new 2024 Silverado 1500 right now at John Heister Chevrolet. See dealer for details on this sweet Silverado offer. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. Together, let's drive.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. This Christmas, give a gift that stands the test of time. At Fox & Bailey, we offer an exquisite collection of the finest timepieces and distinct gifts. Perfect for that special someone on your list. Whether it's a sleek and modern design or a timeless classic, our expert team will help you find the perfect watch to fit any style. Because at Fox & Bailey, we know a watch is more than just a gift. It's a lasting memory. We proudly carry some of the world's most distinguished watch brands, including Omega, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Tissot, Nomos, Hamilton, and Norqain. Not to mention that we have the largest collection of certified pre-owned and vintage Rolex watches in North Carolina. Make this holiday unforgettable with a watch or a unique gift from Fox & Bailey, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location in Raleigh.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Creighton Blackwell here from Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. We are here at Broughton High School, and we're here to celebrate the next scholar athlete, Rachel Lambert.
Yay! Rachel is a hard worker and she's dedicated. She is a big impact in my life, both on and off the mat. She's a super selfless person and a great all-around athlete because she pushes herself every day to be the best, and she's always trying each practice to improve.
Rachel is the quintessential scholar athlete. She's so passionate about her academics, and she's also just as passionate about her athletics.
Winning this award means a lot to me. I'm really excited to be able to represent both my team and Broughton and recognize all of my teammates' hard work.
Your coaches talk about how you're a leader both on and off the mat, and you still make time to excel in school. How do you balance this life with school and sports?
My parents, my coach, and my teammates are always supporting me and pushing me to be the best I can be in both school and in cheer.
You're very involved in serving your community, like your mission trips and things like that. What impact does this kind of work have in other aspects of your life?
I've learned many valuable life lessons from my work in the community that I'm able to apply to cheer, school, and hopefully I'll be able to apply it in the future as well.
Congratulations, Rachel.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I will be at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House, this Sunday for the start and of the Panthers-Chiefs game and obviously all of the 1 o'clock games. Be out there hanging out. I'll have appetizers to give away, little free appetizers. Might pick up part of your check if you're having a good time, if you're bringing good vibes. I am a complete sucker for compliments, so hey, I listened to the show. I came out here to hang out. It's probably going to get you a free appetizer. No promises, but probably. But it's all happening at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House this Sunday, 1 o'clock. Hopefully I'll see a bunch of you out there. Right now, speaking of the Panthers, it is time for the Panthers PawPrint.
Well, you're going to do a ladder challenge first, though.
Oh, we're going to do the ladder challenge first, though.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can do that as well. I'm ready to roll if you're ready to roll.
I mean, I'm always ready to go, especially on the heater that I'm on right now.
Did you hit again? I was just going to say, did you hit again?
Nikita Kucherov, 2+ shots on goal in a 7-6 game against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
So you are up to what, like $50?
$51.20.
So you have now 5x'd your money, 5 times your money just on this heater alone. We start with $10. We keep rolling over the winnings until either you get it wrong, which has happened to me a few times, or so you make it to the end of the month, then you get to cash out. Whoever has the most money at the end of the month wins. I have changed my strategy a bit here. My strategy was to try to chase down Dennis. So I was looking for the rules, by the way, of the ladder challenge are it has to be a likely to win bet. So it has to be between -500 and -1,000. And the likely to win bet then gets rolled over. So my goal was to try to chase Dennis down. So I was trying to get as close to -500 as possible and try to make the most money. I've since come to the realization that if he doesn't get one wrong, there's no way I'm going to chase him down. So I'm going to look for more likely to win bets, try to get closer to -1,000. So if and or when he messes up, I am likely to still be in the running with my $16, which could get as high as $18 today. By the way, Browns versus Steelers over 26.5 points. It just showed how simple and easy going over on Thursday Night Football is, because that game had terrible offense early. Then it started.
Yeah, it did.
Then it started snowing, and they easily cruised over 26.5 for the total, which I teased down. So I liked mine last night as well. Obviously, win. Dennis, you won as well. What are you betting the full 50 on today?
There's not a whole lot of NHL games today for me to go off of, so that actually kind of makes things a little bit difficult. I was hoping to do something for today. So I'm actually going to go back to something that used to be a little bit of a bread and butter for me. Still in the NHL, I'm actually going to go alternate spread line or alternate puck line between the Winnipeg Jets, who are the best team in the NHL, on the road taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins, who stink. That's just kind of where things are right now. Give me the Winnipeg Jets. Can I actually go to -1150? Is that possible?
No.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Then give me the Jets at +1.5.
If I were at 50 and you were trying to chase me down, I would let it, but like you can't be winning the race by half a lap and turn around and say, "Hey, is it cool if I cut this corner?" Like I would be much more I don't know, open to it and if the roles were reversed.
Okay, that's fine. Give me the Winnipeg Jets +1.5 goals. So I'm going to tease that spread down. The Winnipeg Jets are minus 1.5 favorites. Okay. So I'm going to tease it till plus 1.5 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets at minus 525. So that $51.20 would win me $60.90.
Gosh, the compound interest is a heck of a thing. Huh?
Let's go.
I am up to $16.33. I am betting. Ready for this? I'm just going to say the first part of it, and then I'm going to pause for dramatic effect.
Okay.
I'm betting on the Panthers.
What? Look at you.
Plus 25 and a half.
Oh, okay. You sure that's enough? You sure that's enough?
I actually do, and here's why. It's minus 860. The reason being, the Chiefs haven't scored more than 28 points in regulation anytime this year. Ever. Like, they have not scored more than 28 points. So if the Panthers can get a single field goal, just one field goal, the Chiefs would have to score more points than they have scored in any game this year for this bet not to hit. And you might say, like, well, maybe they have not been playing the 1985 Bears every single week. They have not been playing just the best defenses holding them down. They've already played Atlanta. They've already played Vegas. They've already played Tampa. They've played the Bengals and the Ravens, who are good teams offensively, but their defenses are vulnerable as heck. So they haven't played only the best defenses, and yet they've never scored more than 28. Thus, makes me feel okay to be 25.5. 25.5 is what I was able to.
Sounds like they're due.
If the Panthers lose by more than 25.5 to this one, Monday I won't be worried about my ladder challenge. I'll have other things to say.
Sounds like they're due.
I'll have other things to say. This is going to be the game where, like, the Panthers win on the money line and upset everybody, and I'm like, I had them plus 25.5. So confident.
Nailed it.
If it hits, I'll win $18.22. Now let's jump into the Panthers PawPrint. Panthers PawPrint, presented by Carolina Ford Dealers. Check them out for your cars, trucks, SUVs, whatever you need. Carolina Ford Dealers are there for you. Dennis and I each give you a player to watch, and then we give you another player to watch. 2 total for each of us. I'll go first. Cade Mays.
Oh, okay, good choice.
Cade Mays, by the way, starting at center this week. Was forced into action the past couple of games when Ike Ekwonu was out because at the time starting center Brady Christensen moved on out to left tackle to replace Ike. Ike is now back. He is expected to play, and instead of Christensen sliding back to center and being the starter there, they've elected to roll with Cade Mays based on how he played in the 2 games in the interim. I guarantee you, there are very few guarantees in sports. I guarantee you the Chiefs are going to test the heck out of Cade Mays with Chris Jones, who is one of, if not at times, the best defensive lineman in the league. And they are going to do that just to double check to make sure that the exceptional play from Cade Mays against Dexter Lawrence and the Giants was not a fluke. Or maybe fluke might be the wrong term. Maybe a product of Cade Mays having been on the Giants practice squad this year and perhaps just being extremely familiar with Lawrence and that defense and knowing the tricks already. So he looked better against Dexter Lawrence than he might if he didn't know Dexter Lawrence. So if I'm the Chiefs, I'm going like, let's just double check. Let's just make sure that he actually is playing at that level that stonewalled Dexter, rather than just some other kind of fluky thing that made it look like he was stonewalling Dexter. So Cade Mays is going to be tested. He is going to face Chris Jones. They are going to run twists. They are going to run A-gap blitzes. They are going to run everything they can right at that guy because if you look around the offensive line, he and or Ike Ekwonu would be the ones that would be the vulnerable points, the break points. So Cade Mays, he's a center. I know you won't watch him a ton because offensive line is boring to stare at. But a few times, particularly passing downs, go ahead and pay attention to Cade Mays. That's what I'm looking for.
All right, that's a really good one. I was actually going to sit there and say Robert Hunt, similar on those same reasons, but I'm going to shift focus here now. Jonathan Brooks. Hey, you were a second-round draft pick, the first running back taken off the board. We're going to see your debut. I want to see something. Show me a flash of something here. That's what I want to see. Jonathan Brooks, you know the young man's going to be eager to show something. You just talked about how good Chris Jones is. By the way, the Kansas City Chiefs defense in terms of yards per carry, third best in the NFL. So it might not be a whole lot of room to work with, but you know what? The Carolina Panthers actually have one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. Don't say that too often, but that's where they are. I want to see Jonathan Brooks. He may only get 6 carries in this game, but I'm excited to see what he does.
I think the moment Jonathan Brooks goes out there onto the field, everyone's going to be watching.
Oh, there's going to be a buzz. Like, ooh, there he is.
Exactly.
There he is.
Let's see what he
There
does.
he
Let's
is.
see what he does. His first carry is going to be like for 3 yards. Everyone's going to go, Or it's going to go for 60 and a touchdown, and we're all going to get really excited about it. My next player to watch, DJ Wanham.
Okay.
1 game played, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 6 tackles. What do you have for an encore, my guy? That is, by the way, the forced fumble ended up being the most important play in the game. Led to the overtime win for the Panthers. It's a great play by DJ Wanham. Everybody seemed very excited for him based on all of the injury and then like additional medical things he had to overcome just to play this year. So feel good story in Germany. You get the win. DJ Wanham, hip hip hooray. No longer the feel-good story, right? It's like, all right, you played last week. Now we need you to play better. We need you to play well. It's against the Chiefs. It's at home. It's less buzzworthy. Can you give us an encore? So look for DJ Wanham on the edge. If he can, I mean, this is much more easily said than done. If he can rattle Patrick Mahomes a little bit, whole different deal of a game. So DJ Wanham, my player to watch.
My next one's going to be Xavier Legette. Another one of the rookies, because even Andy Reid acknowledged, hey, that number 17 guy, someone to watch out for. But you know Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs, is going to look and say, all right, who are the biggest threats on this team? Okay, we know we got to stop Chuba Hubbard. Who's their best receiver? All right, Thielen's been hurt, but we know what number 17 has been doing. You know that guy's going to get a lot of attention. How do you handle that? Can you still get separation and get open for Bryce Young? Can you high point the football against a pretty good defense? If you're in the red zone, can you make those types of plays? I want to see Xavier Legette go out there and make some plays against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Show what you are.
I know. I don't know if it's like he's a player to watch. Yes, but I think I'm more interested in him rather than like spotlighting him on a game-to-game basis. I want to spotlight Xavier Legette on like a month-to-month basis. I want to see steady improvement, steady polishing, better routes, catching with your hands more, like slowly over the season.
Yeah.
There are certain other guys where I'm like, no, I need a breakout game from you. It's just, I say it all the time. First-round picks have 9 lives. This guy's going to be a part of your offense for the next couple of years, whether he's playing well or not. Like, you don't give up on first-round picks. So I'm looking at him in kind of bigger chunks. That's Panthers PawPrint, presented by Carolina Ford Dealers. Play one more time. I just like the growling. There you go. Let's talk college basketball. Duke at Arizona tonight. It's their second big test of the season. Kentucky beat them. Just call a spade, right? When you're Duke basketball, no moral victories. You didn't pass the test against Kentucky. But I do think the problem that caused you to fail is fixable, which is almost as good as winning. It's not winning, but it's almost as good, right? It's the whole do you have a problem thing? Do you have a problem? Yes. Do you know how to fix it? Yes. Then you don't have a problem. Like if Duke has an obvious flaw that cost them the win against Kentucky, but they know how to fix it, it's not really a problem. It's just that thing that made you lose against Kentucky. Now we get to see if they know how to fix it and if they did. Do they have a plan for if the 3 isn't falling? Looks like going into that Kentucky game, they were like, all right, and if we get this shot for Con Knipple, he'll knock it down. What if he doesn't? Nah, he will. Then he didn't. Then he went 1 for 7. And it was like, we probably should have had a contingency plan. Really. Or maybe their contingency plan is and will forever be just keep shooting, keep finding him, let him keep shooting, let him keep shooting, let him keep shooting. And they will have games. Then they will have games like that Kentucky game where you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. The other question, do they have a better idea of how to execute in the final moments of a tight game? And obviously there's Cooper Flag headlines there, right? The 2 turnovers in the last 2 possessions, or those 2 last crucial possessions, ended up being what everybody wanted to talk about. Do they, and more importantly, Cooper Flag, have a better idea of how to execute in the final moments of a tight game? Do they want him passing out of double teams in those situations? because at least one of the turnovers came because he was spinning, right? He was kind of back to the basket spinning blind, and there was a extra defender there. If there's 2 defenders on Cooper Flag, do you want him to be Kobe, which is you could triple team me, game on the line, I'm putting up a jumper, or do you want him to be LeBron, which is game on the line, you double team me, I'm finding a teammate for a better shot? Which one do you want him to be? And I'm not saying quality of either of those guys. Let's not get carried away. I'm talking about style of those guys at the end of the game. And then kind of along the lines of what I was just saying about Xavier Legette, Jonathan Shires, I don't know what just happened there. I apologize. Does anybody call that guy Jonathan?
Maybe his dad.
I don't even know if he is a Jonathan. John Shire, how about that? The head coach of Duke. Johnny, how close are we? John Boy, I don't know if I can pull off any of these. J-Bone, John Shire, his season, I believe, is going to be judged by how differently this team looks in March than it does now. Right? Where do they improve? How do they realize their talents at a more efficient level? How do the veterans blend with the freshmen? How do the freshmen not look like freshmen? But how different do they look from that Kentucky game to that, which was their first real test, to the NCAA tournament, which will be their last real test? That's what John Shire's season is going to be judged on. Right? We know he can recruit. We've seen it. Now it's, can you get a team playing their best at the right time? So the first kind of mark, right, checkpoint, is Arizona tonight. From Kentucky to Arizona, that's the first stage of the Tour de France. It's the first time trial, the first chance you have to put everybody else on notice. You take 2 steps forward from Kentucky to Arizona, people are going, at that pace, they're going to take like 35 steps forward. This is a team that's going to be very, very good. If you take 2 steps back, they're going to do the same thing, just in reverse. I'm looking forward to this one. Should be a really fun game. UNC at Hawai'i basketball. That's also taking place tonight, although you could argue tomorrow morning.
Yes, literally.
It is midnight 30 for UNC at Hawai'i. UNC, and I say this and I'll explain it. They're smart for taking their highly talented, highly ranked, high expectations having basketball team to the Maui Invitational. If I were like the basketball GM, whatever they call him, director of basketball ops, and I get to set schedules in accordance with the coach, I'm fighting for the Maui Invitational every year that I think my team is a legit national title threat. And not because I like the food and the beach. Although I do like the food and the beach. I grew up in Hawaii, for those of you that don't know. But I love that they're in the Maui Invitational. I love even more that they added a game against Hawaii tonight in front of the Maui Invitational. So it'll turn it into essentially a week in Hawaii for UNC. I'm going to explain why after you hear it all, but take them to a luau. Have them front row watching fire dancers, twirling it in their like traditional garb. I want you to show them the beach. I want you to give them some of the delicious Hawaiian food that they've never tried before. Have them help the people preparing the food take the pig out of the ground when they're cooking up some Kahlua pork. Give them the entire experience, and then ask them to play well in a basketball game. And then after that, take them to a hula show. Get them to snorkel over a beautiful reef. Get them to look at the state fish of Hawaii. Dennis, do you know what the state fish of Hawaii is?
No.
A humu humu nuku nuku apua'a. That is the state fish of Hawaii.
That one, right.
Take them snorkeling to see the humu humu nuku nuku apua'a. Take them to the most beautiful scenic overlook in the world, according to the Travel Channel. And then ask them to play well in a basketball game. And do that for the entire run. Why? Because like I said, I grew up in Hawaii and I've seen people that haven't been there before make their way out there. It's distracting if you're a newbie to Hawaii. It's distracting. When you fly into the the Champions Classic in Atlanta, you get on the bus, coach could talk to you about basketball from the airport to the hotel on the bus. Coach could talk to you about basketball in the hotel. Coach could talk to you about basketball in dinner. In breakfast. In Hawaii, oh, no. You get on that bus leaving Honolulu Airport or the Maui Airport. You're pressed to the window. You're looking at the blue water. You're looking at the jungles. You're looking at the banana trees. You're looking at the coconut trees. You're looking for Gilligan. You're at dinner. Guess what? You're having some of the most delicious yet unusual food you've ever had. People are explaining to you what poi is. People are explaining to you about this seafood, that seafood. You're not sitting there going, what's the scouting report tomorrow? It is distracting. You know what else is distracting? A postseason run. You know what else is distracting? Making it deep into the NCAA tournament. Because just like Hawaii throws you off your routine, the NCAA tournament throws you off your routine. It's the only time all year you could win a game on Sunday and not know who you're going to be playing in your next game the following Thursday. You don't know where you're going to be going. You don't know who you need tickets for. You don't. It's disrupting your routine. Celebrities are talking about you. NIL deals are coming through. If you recall, when NC State went on their Final Four run last year, what all of a sudden started popping up? It was like DJ Burns in a hotel hallway talking about like office supplies, right? Whatever the NIL deals were. Suddenly you have money coming into your account that you weren't banking on. Opposing teams aren't as familiar as your conference opponents. Guess what? Maui, those teams aren't as familiar as your conference opponents. And guess what else? You don't know who you're playing the next day. Starting with the first game, you know your opponent in the first game of a Maui tournament. You don't know who you're playing the next day. You don't know who you're playing the next day, and you're playing them in 3 straight days. It's a tournament. This is great practice for what you hope to accomplish later in the season. It is great practice. All right, you have something away from basketball distracting you. In this case, fire dancers. In the NCAA tournament case, maybe NIL deals popping up that you weren't expecting. You have an opponent that you weren't able to prepare for. You have an opponent in the NCAA tournament that you weren't able to prepare for. You have to come together on the road. It all kind of adds up. So if I'm North Carolina, a team that does have high expectations, as may be shown or definitely not negated by their 3-point loss to Kansas, number 1 in the country earlier this year, they think they can play with the best of the best. But also, as you saw in that Kansas game, the margin is eensy-weensy, teeny-weeny, itty-bitty. Could be. Does it take you 5 minutes to get back in basketball? Does your mind wander? Were you as prepared the night before? I'll even throw this one out there. They're probably not sleeping great. Why? Well, because 6 or 5 hour time difference and
time zone changes.
It's crazy. We talked with the NC State team last year. They weren't sleeping great. Right, you win a game on a Friday, your adrenaline's pumping, especially if you're the late game. You're not getting to like a sleep till 3-4 in the morning. Now your whole deal is off. Right now, your whole circadian rhythm isn't on, and you got to play 2 days later in a bigger game, in a higher stakes game against another unusual opponent. Every year, I think we could win the national championship. If I were a coach, I'd be advocating for the Maui Invitational. Until it became routine, until everybody knew what to do. And then I'd go, gosh, darn it, we got to find a different way. We're getting too good at this, and I'm trying to keep them off balance. In our real bold predictions, I'll tell you who I think is going to have a big game for UNC in their game tonight against Hawaii. Because real bold predictions is coming up next. One of my favorite portions of every Friday show. Dennis gets the bell and the buzzer ready, and we play real bold predictions coming up next.
The Adam Gold Show.
I'm not saying Pyotr Kochetkov can't be the goaltender, but for the next 2.5 to 3 months, your tandem needs to be better than Kochetkov and Spencer Martin. Until Frederik Andersen comes back, to rely on those 2 goalies to get you through the next 40 games, man, that is a recipe I don't want to taste. Get me a backup goalie for Kochetkov.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great, it's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
Diamonds Direct's once-a-year pre-holiday store-wide sale is almost over. Now through Sunday, get Diamonds Direct's amazing value price. And for the first time, it's even bigger. Get an extra 20% savings. Virtually everything in store is included. It's the big sale Diamonds Direct is famous for. Hurry, this incredible sale ends Sunday and will not be extended. Get the perfect gift you're looking for at the very best price. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Diamonds Direct. For details, visit diamondsdirect.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'll be at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House this Sunday, right at the start, maybe in a few minutes early for the Panther game. And I have a little bit of trivia for you. Did you know Carolina Ale House just won People's Choice Award at the 2024 Buffalo Wing Festival? Make sure you try their wings and zingers while you're there. The homemade sauces and dressings are addictive. I may even be able to just drop a little certificate, a little card on your table if you look like you're having a good time. That'll give you an appetizer for free, which I'm assuming wings, zingers, huh? I'm just saying might be up there in the running for your choice. But that's Briar Creek Carolina Ale House Sunday, right around 1 o'clock. I'll be out there for the Panther game and also all the other games that'll be on all the other screens. Now, I'm right here right now for Real Bold Predictions. That's not bold enough? That buzzer you just heard, it's the not bold enough buzzer. When you hear that, that means the prediction that I thought was bold wasn't bold enough, and I have to make it more bold on the spot until I hear the bold enough bell. There you go. It's the only checks and balances in bold predictions anywhere in sports media. With Real Bold Predictions, there are, and I counted, or I will count right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in action that we cover this weekend, starting tonight.
There's a lot going
Sunday.
on.
So I have one bold prediction for each of those 7 games.
Okay.
We'll start with the Canes. They're playing the Blue Jackets tomorrow.
Okay.
Aho scores 2. Aho scores 2.
Okay.
I don't like that that's bold.
For right now, it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like there have been points in time where I could say Aho scores 2 and you're a quick buzzer. I wish it wasn't true that he, it would be bold, but through 19 games, he has 5 goals scored this year. So he could score whatever that is, 40% of his goals, or of the goals he's scored thus far. He would have to score in this next game. But I do think The Canes play really well after losses. They just lost to the Devils. The Blue Jackets, very gettable, very vulnerable to, giving up some funny numbers.
They just gave up 6 yesterday. They won 7-6 against Tampa. Tampa missed an extra
the good
point.
and the bad. I got good news and bad news. What's the good news? You scored 6 goals. What's the bad news? You gave up 7.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Aho is going to be hunting for a shot a little bit more. Was pointless yesterday, which obviously gives him opportunity to bounce back tomorrow. Shall we go Duke at Arizona basketball?
Sure, why not?
I don't think I was fully wrong on this one, so I'm coming back to it.
Okay.
Cooper Flag triple-double. Against Arizona, a Cooper Flag triple-double.
I need more specificity here.
What do you mean? Like
how,
points, rebounds, assists?
How many exactly points? Like how many exact rebounds?
A triple-double with 15 or more points? Okay. I thought you were asking me to pick the stats. I'm like, points, rebounds, assists. I don't expect him to get out there.
10 steals.
19 steals.
10 steals, 10 blocks.
Arizona's going to be really loose with it. He's going to have a triple-double without points and rebounds. It's going to be assists, steals, and blocks.
That would actually be impressive.
That would be unbelievable.
That's almost stupid bold. That's not real bold. That's stupid bold.
Yeah, I hit the buzzer like, no. I must have misunderstood you.
Backtrack it.
I think he's had a few games where basically saying, other than the Kentucky game, I think he's had a few games where if they had reason for him to keep going, he might have ended up with a triple-double. But obviously you're ahead by 30, 40 points, so you rein it in. There will be no reining it in against Arizona tonight.
No.
In Arizona. And by the way, against Kentucky, he had 26, 12, and 3, something like that. Like just a little bit more in the assist category, which I believe will be an emphasis for him. Triple-double could happen.
I think as long as his teammates, including himself, don't shoot less than 20% from 3 like they did against Kentucky. But one thing, I went to the game on Saturday when they played Wofford, and talking to guys in the locker room post-game, and even asked Shire about this, there was an emphasis on paint touches in that game, whether it's dribble into the lane, then kick it out, or going down into Malawash. There was an emphasis on paint touches on every single possession, and sometimes multiple. And you notice how there were a lot more open looks for Duke in that game. Yes, I understand who you're playing, but it's a mentality and it's a philosophy. And it's something that they emphasized. If they do that more tonight, like they did, like against Arizona, they're gonna have much better success than they did against Kentucky.
I'm with it. I was thinking about fighting back, but I couldn't. It's a pretty good argument.
And it's what they said.
Yeah. William and Mary at NC State, next game to make a prediction for.
Yeah.
Jaden Taylor hits 3 or more threes. 4 or more threes.
I'll go 4.
I was going to say, you're going to make me go to 5? That's outlandish. I think Jaden Taylor is trying his best, and I give him a lot of credit, and I hope they give him a runway, to try to figure it out. I think he wants desperately to be the DJ Horn of this year. And the coach in the postgame has said no, right? He said chillin'. He said, we can score with a bunch of different guys. We don't need the number 1. We don't need a DJ Horn. I think Jaden Taylor is going let me show you, though. Marcus Hill might be as well. There's a few guys that might be vying for that spot. But I just like the idea that Jaden Taylor was the 3rd leading scorer last year. The top 2 leading scorers graduate, move on. He's waited his time, now gets the opportunity. So I think he's going to be an aggressive player tonight, which will lead into eventually. I mean, they play Purdue in their next game. They've had essentially 5 preseason games against non-conference group of 5 teams. Their real stuff gets rolling with Purdue next, and then Texas, and then Florida State, and on and on. UNC at Hawaii.
Okay.
Late night tonight. Elliot Cadeau leads the Tar Heels in scoring. Their pass-first point guard.
Yeah.
There's R.J. Davis there. He's got some other guys. He actually led them in scoring against American.
Yeah, he did.
Which is partially because American, like R.J. Davis, probably was like, I don't.
Go ahead and rung him, man.
Go ahead. Which might happen against Hawaii. I doubt Hawaii is a world beater. But I also think Elliot Cadeau has come into this year with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, like, I'm not just a pass-first point guard. I'm not just the guy setting everybody else up. He's taken more threes. He's gotten to the bucket. He had a dunk the other day for a smaller point guard. So I think he leads them in scoring. Let's get to the football side of things. And we'll stick with the Tar Heels. UNC at Boston College. Omarion Hampton runs for 150 or more yards. See, this one, and I've done this only a few times, right, where I kind of flip the game onto Dennis, because normally it's the game of, can I make it bold enough? Am I being bold enough? Every once in a while, I find a player who I think the better story, the better game to play isn't, will this player have a big day? It's how outlandish does the production have to be in order to be considered bold? If you just had a player who rushed for 244 yards in his most recent game and was given the ball 40 times in carries and receptions, how many yards do I have to say in order to get a bold enough bell? Started at 150, I'll go up to 175. That is bold enough. Would I have gotten it at 160?
No.
Would I've
I
gotten
needed 175.
So that was the minimum.
That was the
Oh,
minimum.
all right, I'll take it. I like it. But it is
Not
kind
when
of,
the guy just ran for 900.
It happened. Yeah, true. It happened last year with R.J. Davis when he was on that streak at 25. I was like, all right, R.J. Davis is going to score 20, 22,
Nope.
24,
Nope.
20, and I just wanted to see how high I had to go in order for it to be bold, which just shows how good those players are playing. Duke versus Virginia Tech football tomorrow. For the first time since September, Star Thomas goes over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, their running game has fallen off over the last 6 weeks.
Virginia Tech can't stop the run.
No, they can't.
There's only one team that has given up more yards per game on the ground than Virginia Tech, and guess who that is? Florida State. And if you are only better than Florida State in any statistical category this year in the ACC, that probably says everything you need. Absolutely everything you need. Panthers versus Chiefs, last one.
Uh-oh.
Panthers are leading the Chiefs at the end of the first quarter.
Panthers really leading at the end of any quarter at any time during this game is a bold prediction.
Here's why I'm comfortable making this bold prediction.
Okay.
The confidence. The confidence that the Panthers have shown. The biggest difference for me between the Panthers at the beginning of the year, who would get their doors blown off from the opening kick, and the Panthers now is they're more confident now. So I still think they lose, right? Don't get me wrong. But I think they lose for the reasons you're supposed to lose, which is the opposing team is more talented than you. They're more experienced than you. They'll probably play a cleaner game than you, and you have things you need to work on. That's why you're supposed to lose a game. That's when you tip your hat to the opposing team and go, you got the better of me. Earlier this year, the Panthers were getting their doors blown off at the opening kick, and it didn't feel like you were losing for the right reasons. It's like you didn't give them your best shot, and they took advantage of your skittishness, if that's a word. So I still think they lose. I just think it's more of the Chiefs feel you out, land a couple jabs, maybe you get a couple shots in early, and then by the third or fourth round in the boxing match, they just start winning on the cards, and then it's whether they knock you out in the 10th round or not, it's long since been concluded by the 10th round because they won like 7 consecutive rounds to finish it. So I just think the Panthers have an opportunity to maybe, get a couple in early. Have everybody, like the red zone watchers, go, did you see the score? Panthers 10-7, end of the first. End of the game, it's like, all right, Chiefs won 28-14 or 28-13. It's like, they figured it out, but remember that first quarter. We'll always have that third drive of the game.
Someone sent me a text message saying Chiefs 38-13.
38-13? You know what that means.
You're plus 25.5.
Plus 25.5. Thank goodness for the hook.
Let's go.
Thank goodness for the half. 38-13. You think the Panthers are going to give up 10 more points to the Chiefs than any defense has given up to the Chiefs this season?
Yeah, Panthers defense stinks.
10 more than anyone else, though?
Yeah.
Stinks that much worse than the Saints?
Yeah.
DJ Wanham's back. Dane Jackson's back.
Okay.
But you didn't think Dane Jackson would be my argument for things aren't going that bad?
By the way, the Panthers have only given up less than 20 points this season once, and that was 2 weeks ago against the Giants.
You're darn right. I don't need less than 20. I just need them to be within 25.5.
Now you're talking about like the Chiefs scoring that many. I'm like,
So the Panthers haven't given, what was it, less than 20 except once?
Only once, and that was against the Giants.
And the Chiefs in regulation, they did in overtime once, haven't scored more than 28. So I think we're pretty confident the Chiefs are going to be somewhere between 20 and 28 if history serves itself. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. I know I'm always talking about the watches, the timepieces when it comes to Bailey's, the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, the Omega Boutique, some of the new partnerships they have with Glashütte Original Watch Company and Blancpain. But it's also prime gift-giving time right now, and there is a jewelry gift guide on BaileyBox.com you might want to go check out, right? When you're there looking at the watches for you, maybe you mosey on over to the jewelry section for that special lady in your life. If you look at the categories of the gift guide, there's Christmas classics, diamond staples that everyone should have in their wardrobe. There's holiday hoops. There's cheerful color, which is an array of beautiful, precious, and semi-precious colored gemstone earrings, necklaces, the like. Gifts for him. We talk about the watches and the men's jewelry, and top gifts under $1,000. So, you can get that luxury jewelry piece without going too far into your wallet. So, it's all happening. Bailey's Fine Jewelry during the holiday season. Check them out at their Village District location. If you want to also check out the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, which is located inside. It's at the Village District location in Raleigh of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. When you're there, make sure they know you heard about it right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We'll take a break. When we come back, we have the starting five. We're going to whip around everything going on in the Triangle last night, tonight, tomorrow, the next day. It's going to be a ton of high-pitched, high-paced, highly efficient sports talk next.
Evan, Kenty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The LA Chargers have a great head coach in Jim Harbaugh.
Sure do.
They've got a really good quarterback in Justin Herbert. They've got a good run game. They've got a great pass rush, and they've got a good kicker. Those are the things that you need to win a championship in this league. They got all the elements. There is a level of subjectivity that we have to view it through in order to project what they're going to be.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
She heard an ad for My Computer Career and jumped in feet first.
Taking exams and getting certified in a matter of just months.
Even better, you can work from anywhere.
Wherever you are. If you're on vacation, you can still clock in. I work out of my house in my pajamas.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them.
Launch a new high-demand career in IT or level up with more certifications. Build a career in record time with less money.
I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone. Indeed, it was the right move for me.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at
Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Terms and conditions apply.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We got a quick blast of cold air, then we warm up for the weekend. Chilly this evening, 41 the low tonight. It remains breezy, windy for your Saturday, partly to mostly sunny, up to 61, 65 with mostly sunny skies on Sunday.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today up 426 points to 44,296.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five, and as always, we start with number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is third of the night.
Third touchdown of the night for C.J. Bailey, freshman quarterback for NC State. Not enough. Still came up just short against the Georgia Tech squad last night on Thursday night. We talked about that game very extensively earlier. You can probably find it on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan.
It's already there.
The other deal is losing that game last night just ramped up the pressure for NC State next week entirely. They have a little bit of a head start on UNC getting ready for their rivalry game because they did play on Thursday, and UNC still has to play later on this week. But if you're NC State, you are now 5-6. You are not bowl eligible. You have a rivalry game coming up. Hoo boy, you better use these next couple of days very, very well. Here's Dave Dorn on shifting focus to the next game.
I told him we don't have time to feel sorry for ourselves. We got to go play our rival this week and sort of take all the pain that you're feeling inside and put it away and get ready to use it. And the other team deserves credit, man. They played their butts off too. It was a really good football game. You had two teams that wanted it. It was physical. And comes down to one play in a game like that, one play out of 170 that you get that dictates it. I mean, even on their extra point, when they went to go up by one there at the end, I mean, Cooley was an inch from blocking that kick. Every single play in a game that comes down to the last second matters.
Yeah, you better shift focus. It's a brutal place for them to be based on where we thought and how good we thought that roster was at the beginning of the year. C.J. Bailey, the freshman quarterback, gave his thoughts on not just the close losses they've suffered, but also shifting focus to UNC.
Yeah, it's like we hurting ourselves. Like we having these self-inflicted wounds every time we take these losses, and like our mindset every time is just to try to bounce back and go get a win. And North Carolina, we go win this game in North Carolina. Just we go get our win against North Carolina because it means a lot to us. Things went wrong all year, but this game right here is our game.
I don't even want to imagine, although we could, I don't even want to imagine what life would be like for those inside the NC State football program if they lose to UNC.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that next week for sure.
But the thing is, they have to talk about it today. They can't wait till it's not like, all right, mini bye Thursday night, take the weekend, back in here with the trainers on Sunday. We'll get back to work next week. No. They're not going to be watching a lot of college football this weekend. They'll be watching film this weekend. No, like, catch up. What are the big games this week? No. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Now Chatfield with it. Orloff. A lot of traffic in front. They score! Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi picks up the loose change and puts Carolina up 1-0.
Canes lost last night to the Devils, 4-2.
That was actually a Jack Roslovic goal.
Which, by the way,
10 on the year.
I was going to say, if you just keep doing it, why not? Svech also got a goal. Liked to see that. Big fan. Natchez, another point, another assist. There's a lot of good going on, but obviously 4-2, not what you were hoping for. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. Tried not to make a big deal out of it. It's hard not to react a little bit when you lose a game to another team near the top of your own division. But you're 14-5. You're playing well. You're dealing with the goalie thing. Dennis, your takeaways from that Devils game before we look towards the future in Columbus this weekend.
I felt like they looked just as the game progressed, they kind of ran out of gas. Just second game of back-to-back on the road. Now, back-to-backs at home this season, they've only had one of those, but they won the second game of the back-to-back. Both times they've played back-to-back on the road, they've lost. At St. Louis, at New Jersey. So I don't know if it's just, again, they're generally pretty good on back-to-backs, but felt like as the game kind of progressed along, just a little flat. I understand that you're playing with a backup goalie. You're on the road. Devils are a great team. It was just a couple simple mistakes. Svech scored early on the power play off a great set play to get into the zone to make it 2-2, but Spencer Martin has the turnover behind the net, which leads to Dougie Hamilton scoring right after that, and they just weren't able to recover.
Before we move to the Columbus game this weekend, Steph Nason scored a goal on the power play.
5-on-3, yeah.
He also had another assist on the insurance goal at the end. Dougie Hamilton, you just brought up another goal on the power play. It does sting more when they used to wear your jersey or your sweater, and now they're scoring against you. Which I'm not going to go down the full deal because we don't have time for it. But this is why you don't do tribute videos. The reason why you lost is because two guys that you used to root for are now playing for the other team. They're trying to end your dreams. Canes, I believe, are going to end Columbus's dreams, at least of a win tomorrow. I talked about this earlier. The Canes, they're pretty good off a loss. They're pretty good at fighting back once they taste their own blood a little bit. They've only lost 5 games this season. The first 4, they've bounced back aggressively and very, very well in the next game. We'll see if that remains the case after losing to the Devils. Their first loss of the season was against St. Louis. Next game, they beat
They lost season opener to Tampa, then they beat New Jersey right after that.
Oh, that's actually, yeah. And preseason. I know it's not, but that's what I took it as. You're right, but then they beat the
Devils.
Devils
Game 2, yeah.
So then they beat St. Louis, or lost to St. Louis. Mm-hmm. Came back the next game, beat Edmonton, the Stanley Cup betting favorite to win it all. They lost to Colorado. Next game, dominated Vegas, one of their best games of the year. Lost at Utah in a weird game. Next game, posted a shutout against Ottawa with your backup goalie, or third-string goalie, 4-0. Ended up beating their next 3 opponents by a combined score of 12-2. Lost to the Devils on the road last night. Let's see what Columbus is all about tomorrow on the road. But I like the chances of the Canes being in a good headspace as they round out the road trip. That's number 4. Actually, you know what? Did we play Brendan Moore?
We did not.
All right, let's hear from Brendan Moore summing up the Devils' loss.
We weren't very good. We were good to start the game, and then thought that the penalties, it's always that seems to rear its head there. He took, give up the momentum flipped on that, and then 5-on-3, you're giving a goal away. You almost get it kind of killed, but you can't give a team like that, that kind of life. And then we hung around. That's basically all we did tonight. And then we got back in the game, and then we kind of have a gaff, the game-winning goal behind the net. That's you're not going to win when you do that kind of stuff. So it's tough. Move on.
Yeah, it is tough. It's just 82 games, long season. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
the left to Cooper Flagg. Low with the dribble, into the paint. Cooper left it down low for Malawach. Goes up with the right hand and scores. What a dish inside for Cooper Flagg.
A lot of college basketball this weekend. Duke at Arizona tonight. UNC at Hawaii later tonight / early tomorrow morning because of the time difference. And William & Mary at NC State. Haven't talked about that one yet. We'll start there. It's interesting. Non-conference schedules put you on a different timeline than some of your rivals. So Duke and UNC have each played top 20 opponents. They've played in big games. They have more big games coming up in the not-too-distant future. NC State is essentially like wrapping up their preseason tonight against William & Mary. And that's no disrespect to William & Mary, but if you're an ACC program playing against William & Mary, you expect to win and you expect it not to be close. And if you look at all of the games that NC State has played this year, you would expect to win and you would expect it not to be close. South Carolina Upstate, Presbyterian, Coastal Carolina, Colgate, and now William & Mary. That's the way that schedule was designed, is to give them ample opportunity to work through some things in games that are more than an exhibition but less than like a real big game. Somewhere in the middle there. Now, once you play William & Mary tonight, guess what's next up on the menu? The number 6 team in the country, Purdue, which is a rematch of the Final Four. Different players, a lot of them, but still, the jerseys, a few of the players, rematch of the Final Four. Then you play Texas, who isn't ranked, but they're Texas. Then you play Florida State, your first ACC opponent. Yeah, I think it's safe to say your preseason ends tonight. So what do you need? Marcus Hill had a confidence booster last game. Kevin Keats talked about it, was one of the leading scorers. The defense played well against Colgate, held them to darn near nothing, shooting from 3. Those were the takeaways from the Colgate game. What do you want the takeaways from this game to be? And then go make it happen. Or do you want Jaden Taylor to be a leading scorer? Call plays for him. Run it through him. Run the offense through him. You want Middlebrooks to be the leading scorer off the bench like he was against Colgate? Run the offense through him. This is your last chance to choose the outcome. Starting against Purdue, you fight and claw and do everything you can to get whatever outcome is the most attainable, meaning a win. Also, I'm calling this the make your last shot and warm-ups game. Anyone that's ever played basketball knows. You could be doing layup lines, you could be doing shell drill, you could be doing whatever your coach has you to warm up. You do not walk into that locker room until you make a shot walking off the floor. It doesn't matter if you have to go lay it in. The last shot you take, the ball goes through the net. Tune-up games, you've had 5 of them. Make your last shot before you go to the locker room for the Purdue game. Right? When you come back out, the lights are live. They'll be introducing starting lineups. The crowd will be filled in. Make your last shot. You want to have a good one tonight. UNC at Hawaii basketball, we talked about it not long ago. I like UNC being out there. I like it because it's distracting. And I think one of the marks of a really, really good contender is the ability to compartmentalize and lock in and focus. Throughout a run, there's going to be things that draw you out of your attention. Heck, in a game even, right? Somebody gets in foul trouble. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody on the other team makes a circus shot, and everybody's talking about da-na-na, da-na-na. There are going to be things that draw your attention away, and how quickly, or maybe you don't even let your focus leave, but if you do let your focus leave for a split second, how quickly you can hone back in becomes really important. UNC playing at Hawaii, then going to the Maui Classic, Maui Invitational. There's going to be like, hey, we were at a luau last night. Can we lock in? Hey, we're going to distract you on the drive from the hotel to the arena. You're going to pass maybe the number 4 beach and Travel Channel's most beautiful places on earth. And you're going to be looking at it going, look how blue the water is. And then, boom, go ahead and play Dayton. Like, it's going to have to be a test of your focus, which I think is good early in the season to get you ready for something like the NCAA tournament later on. And then Duke at Arizona tonight. It is a matchup of 2 of the top teams in the preseason rankings. Wildly talented, everything ahead of them. And Duke is progress. That's what the name of the game is for Duke. You have a lot of freshmen. Best part about freshmen is eventually they stop feeling like freshmen. Now, just because they're super duper uber talented freshmen doesn't mean they're not freshmen. Can they knock off some of the freshman mistakes that cost you the game against Kentucky? Because it really was a one-possession game, and one mistake here or there is the difference. Can you knock those off, play better against Arizona, which, by the way, is a true road game? Dennis, I know you're going to love this. It's in Arizona's home arena. This is
love that.
This is not MSG. This is not let's play Kentucky and Atlanta.
Yes.
This is not Jerry World for a tournament. This is Duke giving themselves a very difficult environment in a true road game this early in the season.
I love that. My thing is, if you can win on the road, you can win in the NCAA tournament.
Neutral in the NCAA
exactly.
tournament.
If you can win on the road, you
so
can win neutral.
Yeah, I see. You're just putting the donut on the back, right? If you can swing it when it's 12 ounces heavier, you can darn sure swing it when it's 12 ounces lighter. Duke at Arizona tonight, big game. Cooper Flagg, did you learn how to execute in a close game? You might just find out or get another shot to do it against Arizona. That was number 3 was it? Let's get to number 2.
Just the two. Second goal. Heavy personnel to the left side. He'll toss it that way to Hampton, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
UNC at BC, at Boston College. Tomorrow, Duke, I believe, home against Virginia Tech tomorrow.
That is correct. 8 o'clock game.
The night game. Look at Duke just getting night
all
games.
These night games.
UNC finally has worked their way out of, at least from a reputation standpoint, the hole they dug themselves with that 4-game losing streak. After that 4-game losing streak, right, the game going into the bye where it's like, goodness, I don't know if they're ever going to turn this around. I don't know if they would have been favored against anyone other than like Florida State in the ACC. They were just on the way down. But they stopped the skid. And they got better, and they leaned heavier on Omari and Hampton, and they asked Jacoby Criswell to be more efficient than a volume thrower. Hey, you might not throw for 400 and something yards, but we need you to be really good with the throws you do get. And they built, and Kamen Rucker came back, and suddenly there was a little bit of a pass rush, and they built until now, where with a 3-game win streak, they are going up against an ACC opponent. Granted, not the best in Boston College, but UNC is the favorite. They're the one that you surface level. I don't know anything about these two teams, but let me look at their resumes real quick. I think UNC is going to win. Now it's how do they play with that mindset rather than the hunting the upset mindset. I hope, and I've said this all season, Omari and Hampton gets the ball a bunch. I hope. It's I talk a lot about how flip-flopping shouldn't be the insult that it is in sports media, right? If I picked a team to win the Super Bowl and then I watched them play bad 3 weeks in a row, so I change it and I say, actually, you know what? I don't think that team's going to win anymore. I think this team's going to win. People, change. What? Look at this guy. Oh, he says they're bad now. He said they were good 4 weeks ago. Look at him. And it's like, yeah, I gathered new information and changed my opinion. But also, the flip side of that is if your opinion keeps getting confirmed, you get more and more firmly entrenched in it. Mm-hmm. So early in the season, I was saying they need to give the ball to Omari and Hampton a ton. They need to give it to him more. They need to get him 30-plus touches a game. They need to, and then they started doing it, and suddenly he had a 5-touchdown game. And then they did it again, and he had a 250-plus total yard game, and they're doing it again. I'm going like, I think I'm being confirmed here. I think I'm now more firmly entrenched in you should get the ball to that guy a whole bunch of times camp. Instead of flip-flopping, I am flip-flipping. I'm staying on the same side. And then Duke versus Virginia Tech. I said this earlier. I think Duke has a legitimate shot. I don't know what the percentage is. Let's call it a third of being a 10-win team. Beat Virginia Tech this weekend, I think that total goes up a bunch. And that's obviously without knowing who they would play in a bowl game or where and how many opt-outs would there be. So a lot of unknown. But with that being a possibility, it is kind of like the whole, like, you can't fill a bucket without the first drop. You can't have a 10-win season without winning versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is favored, like betting-wise. I don't believe they are unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, they're 5-5. They're trying to make a bowl game.
Which might mean they're playing desperate. So be ready. be ready. I say it all the time about fistfights. The person that wants to be in the fistfight the most usually ends up winning.
I'll say this, though. Virginia Tech's biggest loss this season was by 10 to Clemson. Everything else has been one possession. 7-point loss to Vanderbilt, 3-point loss to Rutgers.
Some would say their one loss against Miami might even be a win.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Depending on the referee's decision.
That 2-point loss to Miami, they only lost by 7 to Syracuse. So they've been in every single game. So no pushover here.
No, not at all. Neither team. I think it'll be ugly. I think this will be a game that they're both trying to make ugly.
Mm-hmm.
It's be like, look how gross we can make it. No, we can make it more gross. No, we can make it more gross. We're going to run the ball up the middle 6 straight times. We're going to run the ball with a fullback up the middle 6 straight times.
Yeah, we're actually going to play a fullback.
I'm going to take an offensive guard and put him in the backfield and pretend he's a fullback. It's just one-upping each other and more gross. That's number 2. Let's jump to number 1.
Officially a 36-yarder for the win in Munich. Jansen snap, Hecker's hold, Piñeiro's kick. It is up, and Eddie wins it for the Panthers in OT.
Panthers versus Chiefs, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Panthers putting their 2-game win streak against the Chiefs' 1-game losing streak. The good news for the Panthers is they have nothing to lose. Everybody is expecting the Chiefs to win. Everybody is expecting the Chiefs to win by a boatload. The other good news for the Panthers is they're coming off a bye week. So you would assume they are as healthy as they have been, usually I would say since the beginning of the season. But it did feel like the Panthers were dealing with a ton of injuries. Like
they were.
DJ Wanham from before they signed him, Jonathan Brooks from when they drafted him. Guys were like Xavier Legette wasn't really practicing much in the offseason workouts and then even into the preseason a bit. It just seemed like there was a ton of injuries they were dealing with before they even got to the first game. So you might argue coming out of the bye week, as healthy as they have been, period. Like no qualifier.
Thielen has literally played 2.5 games.
Thielen's played 2.5 games. They're expected to get Tommy Tremble back.
Yep.
Expected to get Jonathan Brooks for the first time. DJ Wanham is now playing after playing well in their last game. He's back.
Ike Ekwuana's missed the last 2 games.
He's
and
back.
He got hurt during the Denver game.
Dane Jackson back, I believe.
Dave's been back.
There's a lot of guys kind of.
Josie Jewell's back.
There's a lot of guys back and healthy. Dave Canales spoke to the media today about how excited he is to see second-round pick Jonathan Brooks.
Absolutely. And look, he had a great week. He's been, involved with the plan, and he looks confident. He was running hard. He was making cuts. Kind of starting to develop the second level part of his runs. Which is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him, hit the hole, go through it, see the finish, and all that. So I'm excited to get him out there this week.
Everyone's excited. Right now, Jonathan Brooks is or everyone that follows the Panthers is a fan base in the middle of training camp. Everybody's 0-0. Everyone's got a chance at the Super Bowl, right? Jonathan Brooks might be the next coming of Amari or Alvin Kamara. Might be the next coming of Derrick Henry. There's no limits on our imagination at the point. But there's also, the part no one wants to talk about, which is he might not live up to expectations, right? We don't know the injury. We don't know how it's going to affect him. All we can be is inquisitive and try to gather as much information about the player as we can. And remember this, it's his first time playing since he blew out his knee. So if it's not the most efficient running you've ever seen, if it's not the most explosive running you've ever seen, have some grace with the young man. Dave Canales also talked about having some of the veterans back. We're talking Adam Thielen. We're talking Tommy Tremble, the tight end, coming back from injury. Here's Canales.
It's great, guys that we've counted on, and we've been, waiting and hoping to get Adam back out there, and so he just opens up some things for us, third down wise and in the red zone, things that he's kind of done in his past that we can, hopefully make come alive.
I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I really don't want those guys involved that much. Adam Thielen, if you're in a 3 or a 4 wide receiver set, sure, but I still, even if he's out there in a 3 or 4 wide receiver set, I don't want him as the number 1 read. I want to continue young player takeover. If you're throwing it to a tight end, I kind of want it to be Jatavian Sanders, who's looked really good and is turning heads not just in Panther fandom, but in NFL fandom. If you're throwing in the red zone to a player on a win route, right, an option route or something like that, where, if things go the way you think, that's 100% going to be where you throw it. I kind of want that to be Xavier Legette. And if you get off of that, I kind of want your eyes going to Jalen Coker. Now, obviously not 100% of the time, because that would be wildly predictable and defensive coordinators would love to know it. But Adam Thielen being back, I like his presence. I want him talking those guys up on the sideline. What'd you see? Here's what the safety did. Here's what adjustment we can make. But I want to make sure the priority stays the priority, which is getting the players who are going to be around for the next 5, 6, 7 years, hopefully, up to speed. So those next 5, 6, 7 years are as awesome as they possibly can be. Jonathan Brooks plays into that. I have no problem with him getting as much of a role as they feel comfortable giving him coming off the injury. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need some numbers game contestants. We have a pair of tickets to see Experience Hendrix. It is your last chance to win Experience Hendrix tickets. It's at the DPAC on April 6th. If you want to play, you have to call in now. If you want to win the tickets, you have to call in now and then beat somebody, your competitor, at the numbers game. If you want to play, the number to call is 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Move your sports day forward.
Come on, Coach. I know it's tough. Just squeezed out that. Yeah, he's doing it for us. He is the giant non-disposable straw that is stirring the drink, because you do not want Marty Natchez melting down like a cardboard straw in a milkshake.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, everybody. Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. The NBA is back, and FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Again, FanDuel.com/Paul, and make every moment more this season. Dunks, three-pointers, alley-oops, you know what I'm talking about. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. After 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
'Tis the season to make memories that will last a lifetime. This Christmas, give the gift of love and commitment with a stunning engagement ring from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Take it from me, Marcy Bailey, an engagement ring is the gift of a lifetime. Unlock the magic of the season with a holiday proposal. At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we understand that every love story is unique, and that's why we offer the widest selection of exquisite engagement rings to fit every style and budget. Bailey's provides an incredible 30-day money-back guarantee and a unique 100-day price protection, making it easier than ever to give the gift of forever this Christmas. Oh, and if you're already married, maybe it's time for Santa to upgrade your ring this year. Bailey's Fine Jewelry is voted best jeweler and best place to buy a diamond. We've made Christmas dreams come true since 1948. After all, every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. As always, we play this, by the way, every single day. Had somebody ask me if we played it every day, and I said yes, about 5:30. For some reason, they thought it was once a week, and I was like, you just thought you were tuning in the same day of the week every single week? Because they knew the game. So anyway, I'm just pointing it out. We do play this every day about this time, about 5:30. We have Greg and Wake Forest on the line. We also have Max and Raleigh on the line. They'll be competing. And the prize is Experience Hendricks tickets at the DPAC on April 6th. One of them will win the tickets. Greg and Wake Forest, you get to answer a question to see who goes first. Are you ready? Are you there?
I am.
All right. The question is, we have a weekend upcoming, a lot of sports going on. What is the sports highlight of your weekend? What are you most looking forward to for the weekend? But since we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
I got Chuba Hubbard on my fantasy team. I'm looking forward to him getting a whole bunch of yards against the Chiefs.
All right. Now was that a draft pick? Because Chuba is one of the better picks in fantasy this year.
It was an auto draft. I have to say, but it was a draft pick.
Oh man of honor right there. Not even taking the credit. All right, Greg, stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. Let's go to Max and Raleigh. Max, are you there?
Yes.
All right. What is the sports highlight of your upcoming weekend? Could be anything you're looking forward to. Just has to be sports related.
Well, I just want to say I also have Chuba Hubbard on my fantasy team, and I am looking forward to him getting yards as well, but also the Panthers beating the Chiefs on Sunday.
All right, so a little similar, but maybe a one-up there a little bit. Max, we'll see if it's the winner. Dennis, who wins?
Pretty similar answers, like you said.
Yep.
I'm probably going to go with the man who actually has the integrity to say, yeah, I auto-drafted Chuba Hubbard on my fantasy team, so I'm going to go with Greg on this one.
All right. Greg and Wake Forest, you get to go first. Your honesty was the difference. Are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories are NFL. We have 3 capital letters. All players with 3 capital letters in their name. NFL, just one team. Players who played their entire career for one franchise. NBA, Celtics of the last 20 years. Or NHL, Hurricanes only.
Let's go NBA Celtics.
All right. These are all players who have played for the Celtics in the last 20 years. I will give you the team and the player. I will say the team, even though we know it in this category, just to keep it fair with some of the other categories, timing-wise. 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we jump in?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics.
5.
Incorrect. Al Horford, Boston Celtics.
42.
Correct. Ray Allen, Boston Celtics.
32.
Incorrect. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics.
Skip.
What was that?
Pass.
Kendrick Perkins, Boston Celtics.
51.
Incorrect. Ray Allen, Boston Celtics.
34.
Incorrect. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics.
0.
Correct. Kendrick Perkins, Boston Celtics. Ray Allen wore 34 everywhere except Boston. He wore number 20 in Boston. So you were on the right track there. And who else did you miss? You missed Perkins. Perkins wore 43. But you did end up getting Jason Tatum on the bounce back. You did end up getting Al Horford, so 2 in the correct column. That is your score. We'll see if it holds up.
All right.
All right, that brings us to Max and Raleigh. Max, are you there?
Yep.
All right, the categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL, we have 3 capital letters, all people with 3 capital letters in their name. NFL, just one team, played for the same franchise their whole career, or NHL, Hurricanes only.
I gotta go NHL Hurricanes only.
All right. I like the enthusiasm in your voice there, so we'll see if you can get 3. You need 3 for the win. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Yes, Barry Kokaniemi, Carolina Hurricanes.
82.
Correct. Eric Stahl, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Correct. Bates Battaglia, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
24.
Incorrect. Aaron Ward, Carolina Hurricanes.
4.
Correct. Bates Battaglia, Carolina Hurricanes.
13.
Correct. Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
5.
Incorrect. Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
14.
Incorrect. Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
22.
Incorrect. Ryan Murphy, Carolina Hurricanes.
17. I don't know.
What was that last one you said?
I said 17, which is wrong because that's Rod, but
That is true. It is Rod. But if you would have stopped before saying teen, you would have been right. We were looking for 7. So that's the only thing that kept you from a perfect score. You got Kokiniemi, you got Stahl, you got Battaglia, which, by the way, for those of you playing at home, we would have accepted 13 or 33 for Bates Battaglia. And then Aaron Ward was 4, Ryan Murphy 7. But you were close, and you win. So, I always sound disappointed when they don't get the perfect score, even though you still won and you get the tickets. Congratulations.
yeah, I think that's about the third time I've gone 4 for 5. So.
Oh, well, since you won, take your 30 days and then try again.
Will do.
All right, go ahead and stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you. It is true. Like, I do need to maybe check myself a little bit, because if someone gets close to a perfect score, I'm sure you can hear the disappointment in my voice. I'm like, oh, when in actuality they won and they get the tickets.
Well, you wanted it for them.
No,
That's the thing.
I'm not rooting for any one person. I'm rooting for success. It's actually maybe my favorite way to watch football. As a former quarterback, I love it when I don't have a team I'm rooting for, because then I just root for the offense. I'm just rooting for well-played offense. I'm rooting for schemes to work and execution to be high, and it's always offense first, offense over defense for me. So when we're in the numbers game, I'm just rooting for everybody to play well. I mean, I am just the youth sports coach that wants everyone to play well and have fun. And then we get Capri Suns and some orange slices. Which may sound like cheesy, but it's true. I want everybody to get a perfect score. So when you finish 4 for 5, even if you win, if there's disappointment in my voice, I'm not disappointed with you. I'm disappointed for you that you don't get all the perks that come with the perfect score. But it's a fun game. I really enjoy it. Hopefully you do as well. Bookmark the phone number. We do it every single day at 5:30, like I said earlier, 919-860-5326. If you lose, you can keep playing too. Don't think if you lose, you're done forever. But it is a fun deal we have there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. One more reminder for all of you out there, if you're looking for something to do on Sunday, I will be at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House, right at the top of the Panther game on Sunday, so the 1 o'clock games. I'll have some gift certificates, some free appetizers to give away. So if you're there, find me. Look like you're having a good time. I'm big on just raising the energy on an NFL Sunday. So if you're in there, you're laughing, you're smiling, you're clapping. When your team scores, you're hooting and hollering. There's a good chance you're going to get something from me, a little prize. But also, while you're there, sign up for the Carolina Ale House email list for your chance to win a Big Green Egg Grill and Solo Stove. The contest runs all season long, and the winner will be chosen on the big game Sunday. When you're there, just go ahead and scan the QR code on your table tent or visit their website to enter. It's the Carolina Ale House. That's for all of the Carolina Ale Houses, not just the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House, where I will be on Sunday. By the way, I did hear that the ticket stop last night was a good time, and Canes fans were really into it. So.
That's awesome. So they're giving away a green egg grill and a Solo Stove?
I'm going to read it word for word as they gave it to me. Sign up for the Carolina Ale House email list for the chance to win a Big Green Egg Grill and Solo Stove.
Oh, nice.
The contest will run all season long. You have to scan the QR code on your table tent or visit their website to enter.
Both those things, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I kind of want to get into like the smoking and grilling thing. I just don't know if I have the patience.
Okay.
I like grilling, but I don't know if I have like the let's put it on there for 8 hours and check up on it and all that kind of stuff, kind of patience.
That's one of those things, like if you know you're going to be home during like the day, let's say you're going to do a bunch of yard work or things around the house, you can start it early, just come back in and just make it like, all right, on the hour, just go check on it, whatever it is you got to do. And then when you're done, beautiful.
No, I'm jealous of people that do it well, that smoke and grill extremely well. But I'm not making the plunge yet.
You know who could have used a Solo Stove yesterday? All the fans of the Cleveland Browns-Steelers game yesterday, which, by the way, was just beautiful to watch.
I actually,
even though your team that you may have rooted for lost, it was still beautiful and cinematic to watch that game.
One of my buddies who played college football sent the text into a group chat, like right as the snow was pouring as much as it was at any point in the night, and Jameis Winston was out there doing something crazy. He sent the text that said, there is nothing worse than having to play in this weather. There is nothing better than watching others play in this weather. And I completely agree. As somebody who's like, when my fingers are really cold, I don't have the same feel on the ball when I'm trying to sling it, or slipping when you're doing a drop. Like it is annoying to play, but there's nothing better than watching just a picturesque, big flurry snowfall football game, doing celebrations of snow angels and all that.
Snowball fights, the whole deal. If there's snow during a football game, I want it on my television. I don't care who's playing.
And it felt early. I don't know why it surprised me. It's like, oh, is it this time of year? Can we have snow games already?
It is.
Snuck up on me.
Did you ever play football in the snow? Have you ever played football in the snow?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I never played football in the snow. I played lacrosse in the snow, but I never played football in the snow.
In high school, we did it a bunch of times. And then when we played, it was actually lovely. We played the national championship in Texas. But there was like 3.5 weeks between the semifinals and the national championship. So we practiced at Delaware for 2.5 weeks and then flew down to Texas. So our practices were unreal cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was there was snow on the ground. They plowed it to the edges. I have so many funny stories of people that just aren't used to cold being out there trying to practice. One of my good friends, his hands were blue like a Smurf for 2 weeks because he was wearing his receiver gloves, and he went up to the heater and was just putting his hands up to heat up his hands, and he got too close and they melted and the dye covered his hands in just the brightest Delaware blue, and then he peeled off the gloves and his hands were blue and he couldn't get it off for 2 weeks. So I hate playing in the snow, but the stories are funny to look back on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a whole bunch of picks to make before we hit the weekend, and we're going to do just that coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Diamonds Direct's once-a-year pre-holiday store-wide sale is almost over. Now through Sunday, get Diamonds Direct's amazing value price. And for the first time, it's even bigger. Get an extra 20% savings. Virtually everything in store is included. It's the big sale Diamonds Direct is famous for. Hurry, this incredible sale ends Sunday and will not be extended. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Diamonds Direct. For details, visit diamondsdirect.com.
Experience Hendrix. Music's great. Perform the music of Jimi Hendrix together live. Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Christone Kingfish Ingram, Zach Wilde, Eric Johnson, Devin Allman, Samantha Fish, Noah Hunt, Ali Venable, Chuck Campbell and Calvin Cook of the Slide Brothers, Mato Nanji, Dylan Triplett, Henry Brown, Chris Layton, Kevin McCormick. April 6th at DPAC. Tickets on sale now at dpacnc.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education, and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
This Thanksgiving, Target makes hosting easy with our lowest prices of the season, like Good & Gather Premium Turkey for 79 cents a pound and quality green beans for 55 cents. Or classic stovetop stuffing on sale for $1.99 and delicious Favorite Day apple or pumpkin pie for only $4.49. Plus, get unlimited same-day delivery with a free 14-day trial of Target Circle 360 to make planning even easier. Save more on hosting. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or a Pro Desk for details.
What? I might see her on Sunday.
You might. Oh, because the Chiefs are in town.
Yes.
I was wondering while we were waiting for the beat to drop on this banger from Taylor Swift.
It's a legit curiosity from some of us in the media that are going to be at the Panthers game on Sunday. We're like
how do
think
they
she's going to be there?
Does she have a tour date? I don't track her like some people do.
I mean, I have no idea about that. But
When's the last sighting in public? You're going to try to get an interview? Try to get her on the show. Try to book her for Monday.
You know, if I get a chance, I will do that, actually.
Yeah, just tell her.
Hey, look, just one question.
We'd like a couple of questions. We'll send her the phone number. We'll chat. You get one question. What are you going to ask? If she's walking by and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll stop." You got one bullet in the chamber, right? You just got to fire what you got. What are you rolling with?
Oh, I'm going to ask her something completely off the wall.
Hey, on third down, do you think the Panthers have been aggressive enough?
Yeah. Hey, why isn't Travis being as good this year? I don't ask her like something negative. I just ask her just something completely off the wall. Hey, are you disappointed that the first time you were coming to Bank of America Stadium isn't to do a concert?
I know David Tepper's upset that it's not the reason why she's showing up. I would ask her if she could do her best impression of Andy Reid saying, "Bundalaroo skidoo."
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've seen that commercial
will you please
way
do
too many times.
Best impression of that. That would actually be a good one.
Bundalaroo skidoo. Go ahead and say it. Even Mahomes wouldn't say it. All right, we don't have that much time left. We got a lot of picks to make. Every Friday around this time, we make our picks for the weekend. Dennis, what games are we picking first?
So let's actually go to college football to get things started here.
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and go to Duke football. Duke football at home tomorrow night against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech a 3-point favorite in this one.
I think Duke wins. Duke has the teams that aren't at the tippy top of the ACC. They've done very well against, and I don't see Virginia Tech as a tippy top team. It'll be ugly. This will be I don't know if you want to like draw postcards of it, but they'll win 24-21.
Okay. All right, fair enough. By the way, bye week leading into this one for Duke football.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off that win against NC
a little bit more
State.
healthy.
All right, North Carolina on the road, noon tomorrow at Boston College. UNC 2.5-point favorites against the Boston College Eagles. Boston College 5-5 on the year, trying to make a bowl game.
I will once again use the same thing I've used for UNC all season. If Omarion Hampton, I'm setting the over-under at 29.5 touches. If he hits the over, if he has at least 30 touches, UNC wins. If he has under, they lose. After having 40 last week, I think they tone it down a little bit, probably like 32, 33, but it's still the over. Give me UNC to win. And I actually think it's 31. I'm going to pick a weird number. 31-19. 2 missed extra points.
All right. NC State at home at the Lenovo Center, Club Lenovo. 4-0 in the year, taking on William and Mary. NC State 15.5-point favorites in this one. 7 o'clock tip-off.
Where are my golfers at? This is the last swing at the range for NC State. They have 5 range balls, 5 non-conference games against group of 5 opponents that they would expect to win, no pressure. They've won the 4. They have 1 more. This is the last swing before you head to the first tee. You want to stripe it down the middle, don't you? You're going to swing hard. You're not hitting the last shot before you walk to the first tee, being a 8-iron. You're taking let the big dog eat. Go ahead and give me a driver. Go ahead and give me a driver. So I think they win by a bunch. I think they try. They swing hard. They're trying to make a statement going into the Purdue game. So what was the spread? Whatever it was?
15.5.
Whatever it is, NC State covers.
Okay.
They win by a bunch.
Number 12, Duke on the road at number 17, Arizona, which, by the way, NC State you can listen to on Mix 101.5. You can listen to Duke, Arizona on Buzz Sports Radio. Again, 10:30 tip-off. Arizona 1.5-point favorites in this one.
1.5. I don't know what's the common knowledge in basketball. I know in football 3 points is worth home court. So if it's 2 completely even matched teams on a neutral court and you're playing one of their home stadiums, you give them a 3-point favorite. What is it in basketball?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Like would Duke be favored by 1.5 on a neutral court, but because they're playing at Arizona, it's 1.5 the other way?
I don't know how that works, to be honest with you.
That's not like an equation. It's not always the case. That's just kind of common idea. I think Duke wins. I think they would have beat Kentucky if they didn't have probably their worst 3-point shooting night, maybe of what will end up being the year. Definitely, worse than expected. So, yeah. So give me Duke. They cover. I don't know, 82-80.
Okay. By the way, Arizona coming off a 103-88 point loss to Wisconsin. That game was at Wisconsin as well.
Duke's defense will lower that scoring a little bit. They're lanky.
Duke's defense is really, really good.
They're lanky.
All right. In Hawaii.
This
is actually at 12:30 tomorrow morning.
Midnight 30.
12:30 tonight. North Carolina, UNC on the road at Hawaii. UNC 15.5-point favorites in this one.
UNC is going to win by as much as they want to win by, and I assume it's by more than 15.
Yeah.
Hawaii is not notoriously a great basketball school. You want a fun fact about Hawaii basketball?
Yes, I do.
They used to have 2 players on their team named Matt Gibson and Matt Gibson. At the same time, one was Gibson with a B, one was Gibson with a P. And they played at the same time. One was a post, one was a guard. So the play-by-play broadcaster, Bobby Kern, who's been there forever, called them Big Matt and Little Matt. And there would be play-by-play broadcasts where it's Little Matt on the perimeter into Big Matt back out to Little Matt. Little Matt puts up a shot, rebounded by Big Matt with the putback. Just a fun little deal of like 2001 Hawaii basketball.
Okay.
Neither of them play for them now. Whoever plays for them now is going to get beat by UNC by a bunch.
All right, fair enough. Let's actually throw a couple more college football games at you on a national scale.
Let's see it.
For example, number 5, Indiana on the road at number 2, Ohio State. Ohio State 11-point favorites in this one against the Hoosiers.
As it should be. Because Indiana, as like rankings, by the way, I should be clear on this because I've been ranting against the college football playoff rankings a lot. Mm-hmm. Rankings and Vegas odds are different. I think Indiana is one of the 5, 6, 7, whatever best teams in the country based on what they've put on the field. Mm-hmm. But also I understand I expect them to get smacked around by Ohio State as well. So luckily, I don't think that's what should decide the rankings. But they've beat no ranked opponents. They did smack around Michigan State. They did beat Michigan in a tight one. But Ohio State's going to look to make a statement on here. I think Ryan Day is going to run up the score. What was the spread, 11 something?
11.
Yeah, they win by 20+. Ohio State does.
All right, 2 minutes left here, so I'm going to give you a couple quick NFL ones before we hit the Panthers.
No explanation. I'll just run through them.
That's fine. 49ers on the road at the Green Bay Packers. Packers 5-point favorites at Lambeau, which is probably going to be cold. There might be some snow up there.
49ers win in a cold game. Kyle Shanahan's better at scheming up a run game than what the Packers can do. Okay. Although the Packers are also really good at scheming up a run game. Closer than I just made it seem, but Niners still win.
Cowboys at Commanders. Classic rivalry here. Washington, 10.5-point favorites at home in Landover.
Washington wins. I think the better story is, does Daniel Jones finish the year as a Cowboy?
That's right. He did ask for his release today.
And was granted by the owner, according to Twitter.
Okay, he'll have to clear waivers so a team can claim him.
If they claim him now, it's like $10 million the rest of the year, and that the injury guarantee becomes in play again. So he will clear waivers, then he'll be able to go wherever he wants. If he chooses Dallas, it'd be hilarious.
Come back home to Charlotte, baby.
No.
Just kidding. Speaking of Charlotte,
Bryce
Carolina.
just went, what are you talking about?
Carolina Panthers at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs, 10.5-point favorites in this one. It's very rare to see double-digit points.
Yeah, you know what? Not to win, but Panthers, give me the points.
Okay, you're going to take the points in this one?
I think it's a 10-point win.
So like a
24-14.
Okay. Like a 27-17?
Yeah, something like that.
We'll throw an extra field goal in there just to make him feel good
Eddie
about
Pinheiro is
it.
the best kicker in the history of the game.
Which, by the way, missed practice a little bit today. A little bit of a knee injury. From, believe it or not, celebrating the game-winning field goal in Munich.
Yeah.
Tweaked a little something, but he should be fine. He should be good to go.
Most accurate kicker in the history of the game, just past Justin Tucker.
There's that.
That's it for the drive here on 99.9 The Fan. We have Overdrive coming up next, starting with our reaction to last night's NC State loss on the football field to Georgia Tech. And then there'll be more about basketball, more about the weekend. There's so much going on. We'll be back on Monday to break it all down, to react to it all. Hopefully you all have a wonderful weekend. Subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Catch me at the Briar Creek Carolina Ale House on Sunday for the beginning of the Panther game. Until Monday, have a fantastic weekend.
Keep pounding. Panther Talk. Panthers Playbook. The PawPrint. Follow your Carolina Panthers all season with us.
Officially a 36-yarder. Jansen snap. Hackers hold. Pinheiro's kick. It is up. And Eddie wins it for the Panthers in OT.
Your home for complete Carolina Panthers coverage. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
A new game has landed in North Carolina. Officials are calling this new species of game Cash Pop. So easy to play, it's out of this world. Reports confirm you just pick and match one number to win up to $2,500. With 5 drawings every day, cash landings have been sighted across the state. So be on the lookout for Cash Pop from the North Carolina Education Lottery. The wins are out there. Must be 18 to play. See Cash Pop prize and odds chart at nclottery.com for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful...
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. This Christmas, give a gift that stands the test of time. At Fox & Bailey, we offer an exquisite collection of the finest timepieces and distinct gifts. Perfect for that special someone on your list. Whether it's a sleek and modern design or a timeless classic, our expert team will help you find the perfect watch to fit any style. Because at Fox & Bailey, we know a watch is more than just a gift. It's a lasting memory. We proudly carry some of the world's most distinguished watch brands, including Omega, Blancpain, Glashütte Original, Tissot, Nomos, Hamilton, and Norqain. Not to mention that we have the largest collection of certified pre-owned and vintage Rolex watches in North Carolina. Make this holiday unforgettable with a watch or a unique gift from Fox & Bailey. located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry Village District location in Raleigh.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on the radio, Instagram, TikTok, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader. It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into overdrive. All highlights, no filler. As we run it back from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's start with NC State last night against Georgia Tech. Not winning the football game. Not getting bowl eligible. Not taking the pressure off of their NC State-UNC rivalry game next week. Not being the tougher team on the field. NC State didn't win me over last night. I said yesterday, up front, I'm judging you, NC State, based on how you play in this game tonight. I said, I'm going to ask you a question, and your answer, I'm going to judge you. And the question was, are you willing to fight and scrap and be the most physical, most dominant you possibly can be, the most of everything that we've seen from you this year? Are you willing to do that on a Thursday coming out of a bye against a tough team in Georgia Tech? And the answer was, I actually think split. They didn't win me over, I'll tell you that much. But I do think the players fought to the end. I do think they almost pulled off an impressive fourth quarter comeback. The players fought to the end. Quarterback throws a bunch of interceptions, still fighting, runs for 3 touchdowns. The running game actually opened up a hole late to take the lead late with Hollywood Smothers up the middle. The players, even defensive individual players, I thought, made a fight about it. They weren't afraid to get down and dirty. But in the biggest gut check moments of the game, the coaches came up empty in bringing the fight to Georgia Tech. And it's not just, although it is, but it's not just the final drive that the NC State defense decided to let Georgia Tech march down the field and retake the lead while not being aggressive, right? The defense was the opposite of aggressive, right? The prevent defense, all it does is prevent you from winning the game. Old cliches. First 2 plays of that drive for Georgia Tech, nothing, right? Runs, clock running, don't worry about it. Then there were 6 straight plays that all of them, there's no variety here, all of them were either successful quarterback scrambles or successful checkdowns to the running back. They both take advantage of the same thing, which is everybody too far off, everybody being too conservative, that everybody in the second level saying if a receiver goes deep, we're going to be 20 yards deeper than them. And then as everybody turns and runs, the quarterback scrambles and there's nobody there to catch him. Or the running back leaks out on a check down and there's nobody there to catch him. That means you're playing too soft. Bring the fight to them, Tony Gibson, defensive coordinator. Dave Doran was asked after the game how easily Georgia Tech scored on the final drive.
Yeah, I mean, I got the ball to the back, out of the backfield on us. A couple times we were in man coverage and their back made plays. We weren't able to get to the quarterback and get him on the ground, and then he had a big scramble to win it, And we were in 2-man, 4-man rush, and he broke the pocket, and our 2 safeties have to come up and get him down, and we weren't able to do that.
Yeah, it's more. It's is that, but it's more simple than that. Played too soft. Didn't bring enough pressure. Didn't make Georgia Tech make difficult plays. Right?
Didn't make a true freshman quarterback uncomfortable.
Or even try to. It's basketball, right? Just because you're not going to block the shot doesn't mean you don't contest. Make them make a tough shot. But also, again, not just that drive. The interception earlier, the one down in C.J. Bailey's interception, down in his own red zone that set up Georgia Tech for the one-play, 3-yard touchdown drive. After the NC State defense just forced a turnover, they got the interception to end a Georgia Tech threat. You give it back to the offense. You get an interception. Here's what you do as an offensive coordinator or as a quarterback even, if you're the veteran with a little bit of say-so. You grab the offensive line by the face mask and you say, our defense just got their quarterback to throw an interception. I want that quarterback to be sitting on the bench for 2 hours thinking about the mistake he made. I want him to have to sit there and watch us over the next half hour of real time march the ball down the field and score. The only benefit of throwing like a pick six is you get the ball right back, right? You don't have time to stew on the sideline. But the flip side of that is there's nothing worse than throwing an interception or having the ball bounce off your hands or fumbling and then having the other team go on a 16-play, clock running the whole time drive because you're just on the bench with your hands getting sweaty thinking about the mistake. That's what you do in that moment. Instead, it was a pass, interception. Take the fight to them and force Georgia Tech's offense to stay on the sideline and force the defense to make 5 good plays to stop you, not 1. The drive coming out of half. This one may have frustrated me even more. So they're at half. They're down less than a score, right? Less than a touchdown, I should say. I think they were down 6, which is a touchdown, but less, you know what I mean. You come out, you get the ball. That's awesome. If it's a 1-score game and you get the ball out of half, everybody's optimistic, right? In the locker room, everybody, hey, come out and score. We got the lead. Hey, new game. We played the clock right. We get the ball. The coin toss came our way. We get the ball. Once we score, we're not giving the lead back. They came out and 3 and out. 3 and out of half, which is bad. You know what's way worse and why I'm actually mad about it? It was a 3 and out with 3 completions. You had 3 completed passes and you punted on 4th and 6. 3 completed passes, you gained 4 yards. Actually, you gained 5 and then lost 1 on a completion, but we're getting nitpicky. Justin Jolie, Noah Rogers, and Dakari Collins all caught a pass, and you gained 4 yards. Those are 3 players that can make plays downfield. If you're going to let those guys get the ball, let's not be cute with the horizontal passes. Noah Rogers, get him downfield. Justin Jolie, get him over the middle. Use his wide catch radius. Dakari Collins is an impressive contested catch guy. You completed all 3 of your passes for 4 yards. Take the fight to them. Let your players make plays. I thought yesterday I was talking to the players when I said I am judging you by the fight that you show. I should have been talking to the coaches, saying, let your kids go fight. Let your kids defend themselves. Your players, I shouldn't call them kids, your young men. Let them go out there when the tough get going and see if they're tough. If you're looking for a silver lining, I mean, I think it's obvious you have your backfield of the future. C.J. Bailey, Hollywood Smothers, if they're around for the next 2 or 3 years, they're really talented individuals. And C.J. Bailey, even though it wasn't his prettiest game, I think mentally these games will really help him in the future. You throw 3 interceptions, you end up with 3 rushing touchdowns and still being physical and still finding a way to give your team the lead near the end. That's kind of what being a quarterback is. And C.J. Bailey, after the game, talked about his teammates still having his back despite the turnovers.
Yeah, like I said, like mistakes go happen, things go happen. You know, that was definitely not planned to have 3 interceptions. Like I never threw 3 interceptions in a game in my life. But, you know, it happens. Like when I have guys around me telling me, let's go, you good, let's keep going. Like things go happen, just overcome it. We go overcome it. And, you know, it happened, it worked. And That's why I like listening to my guys, my teammates, because they know what's best and they know what to do in those situations. So that's why I'm getting that confidence and staying confident as I go on, because those guys helping me out.
Overdrive here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll continue with our look from earlier today at a couple college basketball games from Triangle teams this upcoming weekend. Stick around.
Hi, this is Renee Chu. The most trusted local news in the Triangle is now on the radio. WRL News Plus. Now get breaking news and severe weather reports on the radio 24 hours a day. Listen on the radio at 96.5 FM in Durham, 99.3 FM in Raleigh, and everywhere in the Triangle at 101.5 HD3.
Wolfpack Sports Today is presented by Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder sponsor